welcome to the Audible Sports Podcast. My name's Casey. As always, I got my three stooges here. Here's Daniel, Tony, and Steven. Today, we're bringing you some fantasy football content for the most part. We're also going to go over the AFC and NFC North, give you our predictions there. I'm going to name some teams later on in or out, just saying, and they'll let me know whether they think they're going to make the playoffs or not. But
out.
Yeah, you think out? They're out for sure.
Everything that you're wearing is out.
Perfect.
Ouch.
Well, yeah, I got my Jonathan Taylor jersey though. What do you guys think?
He's out too.
It's pretty good, huh?
He's out too.
He's not out. He's not out. He was out yesterday because we didn't want to play him and risk hurting him. So that's pretty good. Yeah. But you guys watch any of your team's preseason games? Tony,
No.
Daniel, Cowboys? No?
Bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces?
Didn't look good.
Not really a lot to look into in the preseason. Really,
not much
right
much to watch when the whole game is penalties. So
yeah, 17 penalties at the end of the third. You guys left off.
Dallas needs to fucking
right where you guys left off. Tony, did you watch your Steelers play? I think you guys played the Seahawks. I didn't see what the score was.
We did play the Seahawks.
Did you beat them?
They did beat them.
Oh, cool.
Pretty-
At least they
the
did that.
Steelers are gonna win the Super Bowl. I'm
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
scared.
He's just convinced.
It was nice seeing something different for once, and that was a quarterback be able to run.
Yeah, because
being
you
mobile.
been instead of a tree in your backfield.
Yeah, exactly. It was nice. I saw some movement out there. Oof.
Colts watched the Colts yesterday for a little bit. The defense looks great. Offense needs some work. So we'll see what happens. We'll let the Bills come back. And Tyler Bass came and kicked a field goal to win the game. So, but we will move into our first segment today. We're going over our top 10 consensus fantasy quarterbacks. Let's pull this up here. Bam. Here it goes. All right. Number 10 in our fantasy quarterback rankings, we have Mr. Russell Wilson. And I actually didn't have Russell Wilson in my top 10. Sorry, Russell Wilson fans. But I see that everybody else did, so I had to put him number 10. Number 7, Tony, you have him as 7. You want to start talking about some Russell Wilson coverage here?
I see the Broncos doing very well this season. Russell Wilson's always done great with the Seahawks. We saw him destroy the Colts on week 1 last year.
Yeah, we were both there for that. That was terrible.
Yeah, he was just throwing bombs out there. It's the consistency with Russell Wilson. He has a good set of receivers on his side this year again. I think he's gonna be just fine. The 7. I see him going out there and giving them the Walmart special, man.
The Walmart special. Daniel, you have Russell Wilson ranked as your number 9 quarterback in fantasy this year.
9.
What do you have on Russell Wilson?
I think Russell Wilson will do really well this year. Wait, pause. Before I actually start, I just want to say, let's ride. Dude, that shit's hilarious. But anyway. Oh, my mic arm just broke.
Oh, well,
We're talking
awesome.
like this. Time to buy a new one of those.
All right.
Love to see that. Holy shit.
I'll give you some
why
lights.
Look.
That's why we do it live, folks.
Shit just fell off. I've had this for like 3 years, bought it on Amazon.
And it had to break during the stream. All right.
Yeah. All right, well, that's going to be a fucking clip. Love that. Anyway, Russell Wilson, yeah. I have him at number 9. I think the more and more, like the closer we get to the season, the more sold I'm becoming on the Broncos, and I'm a little afraid of them at this point. They played Dallas yesterday. I mean, none of the starters played yesterday, but I think Russell Wilson will do really well this year. He hasn't had too much talent to back him up in the past couple of years, and I think Denver's doing something really special, and I think they're going to get back together real soon. Russell Wilson is going to do really good this year. I'm excited to see him.
Well, to me, Russell Wilson's an amazing quarterback. He is better at throwing accurate moonshot passes than he is throwing to the middle of the field. For some reason, he hates the middle of the field. I don't think that this Denver offense will be too different than what he had in Seattle. They just lost Tim Patrick this season to a torn ACL about a week ago. He does have Cortland Sutton, and Wilson is the best QB Sutton has ever had. I am curious to see what their chemistry will be like this year. He has Jerry Jeudy, who I might compare to Lockett in Seattle. I like Sutton for Wilson, and I think if he throws a deep ball, it can be there for them. I have him as number 11 overall in my rankings, but I still like Wilson in later rounds in fantasy drafts. I'll still like if he's there later and I don't have a quarterback yet, I won't skimp on Russell Wilson. I'll still take him. But Steven, what you got on Russell Wilson?
He should be better this year. I mean, I think he has a decent offensive line to kind of not make sure he gets hurt this year or hit a lot. I mean, I had him at 10, so I mean, it's right where I think he is. He's a great quarterback still, no doubt about that.
He is a great quarterback.
Change the scenery will be nice for him, so he should be pretty decent, and we'll see how far he can take the Broncos this year. He's in a tough division, so
that's why we play the games. He's in a really tough division, and we'll move on to number 9. Number 9 in our fantasy quarterback rankings is Mr. Jalen Hurts. Daniel, would you like to go first since you hate the Eagles? With your broken mic arm.
It's just getting worse and worse.
Hey, we can still hear you though, so that's good.
Yeah. What are we on? Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts.
So I have Jalen Hurts actually under Russell Wilson at number 10.
Yes, you do.
I'll say it over and over again. I hate the Eagles. It's never going to change. Jalen Hurts still needs to prove himself to me. He has not done so in the past couple of years, or the past. He's been with the Eagles for. Was it just last year or 2 years? It's been 2 years, right?
This is his third year, I think.
This is his third season. Yeah. He still has not proved himself to me. I feel like if the Eagles had, that reliable QB1, that they would have done a lot better last year. But for that, I mean, he's a really good quarterback. He has a lot of potential, and I think he'll do pretty good this year. And I'm scared to see him twice this year against Dallas. Hopefully they don't end up in the wild card playing each other, because Philly's going to be scary, man.
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts will do really well, though. He's got crazy weapons now with the addition of A.J. Brown. So,
yeah, they're going to be pretty scary. Steven, fellow Cowboy fan, Jalen Hurts, what do you think?
Trash. Just kidding. No, he's a decent quarterback. I mean, I don't have him in my top 10. I mean, like Daniel said, he has to prove it to us. He's very inaccurate, as we learned last year. Other than that, he's got a lot of juicy receivers to work with now. So if he doesn't play well, I mean, it's gonna look bad on him, not his receivers. So we'll see.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. Just so everybody knows, this is Steven's first year doing fantasy football, and we are excited to have him in the league this year. But last year, Jalen Hurts finished as QB9 overall. He did that despite only having over 200 passing yards in 6 total games last year. All the games he played last year, only 6 of them, he had over 200 passing yards. The part of what makes him so dangerous is his ability to run. He is one of the few QBs that is a huge rushing threat to opposing defenses, like what I just said. The passing should get better this season with the addition of A.J. Brown. He has Devontae Smith going into year 2. I also think the Eagles have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL this year. That is why I like Hurts this year, and I think the Eagles are winning the NFC East this year. Sorry, Daniel and Steven.
Well, I don't agree with them winning the East, but their
going to
offensive line is definitely beefed up.
Yeah. Tony, what you got on Jalen Hurts?
I like how you, first of all, you just slid that in there. He's going to take the East.
Yeah, because I think that's what's going to happen. I'm the highest on Jalen Hurts out of anybody. I have him ranked as my quarterback 5.
Honestly, you're not wrong. I mean, I said that last week. I see him winning the East as well, but I just like how you slid that right after the Cowboys.
Yeah, we always got to slide it into everybody. Yeah, okay.
Casey, I want to ask you a question real quick before we finish up with Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Who'd you play in the fantasy football championship 2 years ago when I beat you?
Here we go. All right,
I beat you.
All right. I had Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was playing the Washington, whatever they were back then, and Josh Allen was playing the Patriots. The Patriots had Josh Allen scored 4 points against the Patriots earlier in the year. So that's why I didn't want to play him. Jalen Hurts had like 30 against Washington, and Jalen Hurts laid an egg for me. So
Casey lost to me my first year in the league in the championship by 4 points. No, was it 4 points?
It was close. It was like 4 or 5 points.
He started Jalen Hurts over Josh Allen, one of the highest caliber quarterbacks in the league.
No. This was before he was super high caliber.
No. This was his come up year. He played one bad game against the Patriots, and it cost Casey his season, the trophy, and the prize money.
Hey, and now his name is on the trophy forever.
And
also, my team name was the I Hate Casey team. Just had to throw that out.
Yeah, that's his name. But I could have been the only person in my league to be back a 2-time champion. We don't have any 2-time champions at all. 7 years, 7 different champions. Daniel is one of them. But we're gonna move on because I don't want to talk about that anymore. Our 8th ranked QB in our consensus top 10 quarterback fantasy rankings. I can't talk today. Holy crap. Is Dak Prescott. We're going to go to Steven about some Dak Prescott talk.
Dak. What can we say
You have
about
him
Dak,
as
Daniel?
QB9.
I do. I had him a little lower. I know. What can you say? What can't you say? I mean, he's a great quarterback. He has to prove it this year again. I mean, he started off phenomenally great last year, and then he started to taper off as the season went on. So we got to see if he can stay consistent this year. If he stays consistent, he'll take Dallas far. If not, then Dallas is a wild card loss again. We'll see.
Daniel, ready to rant about your QB?
Absolutely.
No, it's coming.
Dak Prescott was on crazy record pace the first, I think 6 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
And like Steven said, he slowed down a little bit. Still finished QB3. A lot of people tend to forget that. He was phenomenal last year. Dak Prescott is the heart of the Dallas Cowboys, and nobody will ever convince me otherwise. He is probably my favorite player in the league right now. Obviously being a Cowboys fan, but on the team, he's definitely what drives the team. The offensive line really needs to, one, not have penalties because they're probably going to stack up a lot, having seen yesterday. But I have all the faith in the world in Dak, and he's proved himself to me. He's my QB1, so that's all I have to say.
Tony, I know you're a huge Cowboy hater, and you don't even have Dak Prescott in your top 10, which I think you were crazy for. But I want you to explain yourself. Go for it.
No, honestly, I think there's a lot more talent, especially this year. The Cowboys don't have the receiving line that they've had in the past, so they're going to struggle with that. They are consistent with penalties, so I see them taking a lot from him because of that. Like Steven said, he needs to be consistent this year, and that's what's gonna bring him back up. But I don't see him being in the top 10.
Well, I personally have Dak at QB7 this year. No Amari Cooper, no Cedric Wilson. Michael Gallup is still nursing a knee injury. He'll be back, but these are not the Cowboys of past years. Since Kellen Moore took over as the Cowboys offensive coordinator, the Cowboys are number 1 in pace of play, and they were the number 1 scoring offense last year in fantasy. A lot of people forget that. I don't think you can't put Dak Prescott not put him in your top 10 when they're the number 1 scoring offense a year ago. Dak was one of the players that has averaged over 300 pass yards a game in the past. And to me, he's like Burrow, where I could see either one of them leading the league as QB1 this year. I can't rank him higher than where I have him. I have him at 7 because some of his weapons he's lost, but Dak will still be a solid fantasy QB this season. But we'll move on to number 7 here in our rankings. Trying to keep our pace going a little faster than last week because I know we had a 2.5-hour stream last week. But we have Kyler Murray at number 7. Tony, Kyler Murray.
We have some questions in chat. Aaron and would like to learn more about Casey losing in fantasy.
I think he pretty much covered it. Aaron, are you satisfied with that, or do you need more talk here?
He's talking shit.
Yeah,
he's absolutely just trying
he's just talking shit.
I know.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, Aaron.
Good to see you, buddy.
Well, where were we? Kyler Murray. Tony, I don't think you have Kyler Murray in your top 10.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I totally forgot about Kyler Murray.
Who the fuck is in your top 10?
It's because you didn't study long enough.
Mason Rudolph in his top 10.
All right. Well, since Tony doesn't have...
got Drew Lock in his top 10.
He's gonna be fine. Honestly, they're gonna struggle for 6 weeks because obviously they have receivers out. They have big players out, the key players out of the offensive line. But Kyler Murray is always good. Has his times where he'll struggle, but I think they've made him focus a lot more this season, so he's gonna do fine. Doesn't explain the fact that I forgot about him, but
Daniel, before we get to you, I have a question for you with Kyler Murray. I
might have an answer.
Do you still want to play Call of Duty with him?
Dude, that stat is so good. I love that so much. That came out to the world and just became a thing. It's so awesome. For anyone that doesn't know, Kyler Murray's stats have significantly decreased every year in late October, early November because of the release of Call. No, it's not because of the release of Call of Duty.
They're just linking it
coincidental. To him. But like the link is there, and it's phenomenal.
It just correlates very nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have Kyler Murray as your number 7.
I dropped a piece of my mic. I'm still over here just trying to figure out how
the microphone saga
completely taken apart at this point. Where do I have
holding
Kyler? I have him at
You have a 7.
Yeah. So Kyler Murray is a producer, in my opinion. He finds ways to produce no matter what, whether it's with his legs, with his arm. He's a high caliber player. And he just finds ways to produce. He won't have D-Hop for the first, 6 games of the season?
6 games. Yeah, he's suspended 6 games.
So, I mean, that will probably take away a little bit, but I don't think it'll be that significant. Tough division, definitely. But again, he's a guy that produces, so I like him going forward this season.
Last year, Kyler Murray finishes QB 10 last year. A lot of people are on this guy big this year, but I still am not. He can move. He's a great football player, but I think he has some growing up to do. Regardless, he's still in my top 10 because the talent is there. I have him at QB 8 on the year. Who did I miss? Steven, you want to talk about some Kyler Murray?
I mean, nothing else needs to be said other than, I mean, he has a lot of weight on his shoulders now, especially with all that talk about his contract, with all that studying in his contract. I mean, he's gonna have to. I think he's gonna try and force a lot of things to make it seem like he's working on it, but he should still be good. I mean, Hopkins is not being out. Strike that. Hopkins being out for a while is gonna hurt a little bit, but he should be fine. He'll finish in the top 10 easily this year still.
Yeah, I think this will be a big maturing season for Kyler Murray, and if he doesn't, he's going to stay mediocre for the rest of his career. But I think this will be his maturing season.
Yeah, he's got some proving to do this year for sure. But we'll move on to the next quarterback. Quarterback number 6 in our rankings is Mr. Tom Brady, Mr. Unretirement. Brady was the QB3 overall in fantasy last season in fantasy points scored. He had 5,316 pass yards and accounted for 43 touchdowns. He did this at 44 years old, people. That is insane. Then he retires. Then he unretires. I think he's going to play until he's like 50, and I'm just kidding. I think this is his last hurrah here, whatever he does.
Not if he wins the Super Bowl, it's not.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Peyton Manning went off with a Super Bowl win, so... But he has no Antonio Brown this year. Godwin is hurt. Gronk retired. This just won't be the same Tampa team as last year. Yes, I do think Brady will do well this season, but I don't think he will be QB3 overall like last year. That being said, because I said that he's going to have his best season ever, so
he's going to be QB1. Yeah,
he'll be QB1, throw for 6,000 yards, you know. But the guy just never goes away. Steven, what do you think about Tom Brady? You think it's time for him to retire?
It's been time for him to retire.
For 10 years.
10 years now.
He won a Super Bowl 2 years ago, though.
Yeah, I know he did.
I have him as my QB9 this year, by the way.
I have him at 5. He's Tom Brady. He's going to be great. Like you said, a little different Tampa team, but it's still a good Tampa team, so he should do fine. He'll finish in the top 5, I think, still in fantasy, so he should be fine.
Yeah, my Colts get to see Tom Brady this week in the preseason. Maybe he plays.
Cowboys
He
do
will
too.
not be
Game
playing.
1.
Yeah, but Tony, what do you think of Tom Brady?
Like at the end of the day, it's Tom Brady, man. He's gonna do just fine. I have him at 6 this year. Like you said, he's missing a lot of his receivers from past seasons, so he's gonna be fine. He's just not gonna be as good this year just because he's lacking the weapons. But he'll find a way. He always does.
He can throw
He's
the
probably
ball.
listening on, somehow he's just listening in on the stream just to prove you wrong.
He's going to be in the chat right now. Be like, you're wrong. Daniel, I know you have some strong opinions towards Tom Brady. Let's take your broken mic and let's get him.
Timeout. What opinions? What are you talking about?
Last week when you're just like, Tom Brady just needs to retire.
He does.
He needs to go away.
He needs to go away. He needs to let the league fucking win. He's the GOAT, dude. You can't bet against Tom Brady, and I learned my lesson very, very roughly. Betting against him, thinking that he wouldn't win 2 years ago, and he just comes back. He never gives up. He's a certified winner. He's the greatest quarterback of all time. You can't put it past him. I mean, 6 Super Bowls. He proved everybody wrong by leaving the Patriots, going to a different organization, and winning the Super Bowl with them first year in.
7 Super Bowls, no?
He's got 7 now.
Yeah, with Tampa Bay. But, who knows? He might win another one this year, but we'll move on from Tom Brady. We're going to go to QB number 5 in our rankings, who is Joe Burrow. Who wants to go first about Joe Burrow? Tony, since he's in your division, we'll start with you.
He's a dangerous kid, man. Daniel said it last week. He just takes his dong out and
Say it loud and proud. Man's got a huge
this
cock.
kid, this dude's good. He has an arm. He has a cannon of an arm. He's smart on the field. There's a lot of weapons on the Bengals side of the offense, so he's gonna do great. I think he might fight to move himself up. I have faith that he'll be able to knock out Lamar from being above him, but he has yet to prove himself on that.
Steven, what you think about Joe Burrow?
He's great. He's young. He's great. I mean, he took the Bengals. He took the Bengals to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, that's
with
that's still weird to
offensive
say.
line. With no offensive line, as you see my dog's butt up in the air. But Joe Burrow, he's going to improve. He has a better offensive line. He's going to be able to make more throws. He's going to be much better. It's going to be scary to see Cincinnati, honestly. We'll see.
For Joe Burrow, for me, this is a QB to look out for this season. He finished as QB8 last year, and if he has no injury setbacks, he could be top 5 or even possibly lead the league this year as QB1. I think him and Dak have that capability. He had the best offensive line upgrade of any team, adding Alex Kappa to Tampa Bay, La'el Collins from your Dallas Cowboys, and he also added Hayden Hurst from Atlanta, who can block as well. Good tight end.
Great tight end.
Yeah. Add them with the weapons like T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. He could go absolutely crazy this year. He now has the protection, and he has young weapons. They're another year wiser. Burrow will be a threat this season.
You said that so, nice.
Yeah.
It was so, peacefully said, you know?
That's what I think he's going to do. I mean, he's going to do
Joe
really well.
Burrow is fucking so good, it's scary. I'm glad that you compared Joe Burrow to Dak, though, that you see, the winner in both of them.
Yeah, they're
both
both
people
winning
don't
QBs.
see that in Dak, and it's shitty to say it's mostly Cowboys fans that are like, oh, Dak Prescott sucks. He's the problem. Fuck off. That is the least of our concerns. But anyway, back to Joe Burrow. I have Joe Burrow at 6. And the only reason for that is because of all the talent that there is at the quarterback position in the NFL this year. Obviously, we'll get to the rest of our rankings right now. But Joe Burrow is he's a winner, man. Through and through. He's got that swagger he brings to the team, and I think it rubs off a lot on the team. I think that's why Cincinnati was in the championship last year, because I think he brought a mentality to the team that was like, we're going to fucking win or nothing. There's no other option. And that's actually what Dallas has been lacking for, 25 years. But he's that dude, man. He has been his whole life. Fucking... Was he one of the quarterbacks, or was that Kyler Murray? Winless through high school, college?
I don't know.
Perfect record.
Kyler Murray was undefeated in high school and college. Yeah,
that's what it was.
He never lost.
Never mind. But Joe Burrow's still fucking Joe Burrow. So if you can get him, go get him. Yeah,
get him in your drafts for sure. We're going to move on to our top 4, which I think consensusly we have here, maybe except for Steven. Steven has one specific quarterback there. We'll talk about him a little later, though. But coming in at quarterback 4, we have Mr. Lamar Jackson from the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar coming back from injury, that should be interesting. He is only a few years removed from the best fantasy year a QB has ever had. Did you guys know that he had the best fantasy season that any quarterback's ever had?
Last year?
No, in 2019. It was the best fantasy season any quarterback has ever had. He averaged over 80 rush yards a game that year, and that's crazy. Last year, Jackson finished as QB 15 on the year, but that was mainly due to him only playing 12 games because of his injury. If he stays healthy all season, he should bounce back nicely. He's getting his offensive weapons back, his running backs. Their defense is coming back. The whole team was basically in the hospital last year. So, I mean, I think they're going to bounce back nicely. Tony, they're in your division. Are you scared of Lamar Jackson this year?
No, the defense has taken care of them.
You thought about it.
The defense. That slight little thought about it.
I mean, you can't just knock them completely out. I mean, last year both the Bengals and the Ravens were difficult as hell. The Steelers took care of the Bengals twice. They were able to contain Jackson. They should be fine, especially beefing up the defense this year. But at the end of the day, it's still Lamar Jackson. He's fast. He's accurate. He's proven himself time and time again. I think 2019 he had such a great season because he had so many people hurt. He was the running game. They didn't have any running backs because they were all out.
Do you think they're going to run him a lot this year, or do you think they're going to try and be conservative? Because I think if
are
they're
gonna
smart, they'd be
try to-
conservative.
Yep, they're going to try and keep him in the pocket again. That's what they've been working on since last year. He was a little awkward. He's getting better with it. Obviously, it comes with time. But end of the day, it's still Lamar Jackson. He's still a great player, great quarterback. He's smart on the field. So as long as he doesn't get the shits and have to leave in the middle of the game again.
Steven, your take on Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what happened with Dak last year. I mean, where Dallas was scared to run him at all because of his leg. I think they're going to be ultra conservative with him, especially with all of his running backs back, I guess. They're going to rely on them more for the running game and let Lamar worry about controlling the game, passing the ball, and scrambling if need be. But they're not going to. I think they're going to be easy on the calling for quarterback sneaks. But he's still a great quarterback. He's going to do well. I mean, tough division though. We'll see.
Yeah, well, one of the toughest divisions in the whole
NFL.
AFC
is just tough.
The AFC is crazy this year.
I feel like this whole season is going to be kind of strange, like just all around. Like it's very like there's nothing in the middle. You're either like in playoff contention or you're just garbage. I don't know.
What do you think of Lamar Jackson, Daniel?
It'll be interesting to see what they do this year. They could go either way with him. He's got a cannon for an arm. He can sling it in there. He's a really good quarterback. He's proved himself for a couple of years now. Having said that, though, I don't know that they stray away from that RPO offense. It's becoming a lot more prominent with a lot of different teams. And I don't see why they wouldn't use that. I get like, you're trying to protect from injury, but at the end of the day, it's football. It's the National Football League. Like people are going to get injured and you can't be afraid of that.
Yeah.
So I think they'll still implement the RPO a lot with that team. And I think the Ravens will do really well this year. I personally had Lamar Jackson at 3. So I mean, he's proven himself for a couple years now, last year barring injury, but if he's still available, late second round, early third round, go get him.
I'm going to move on to number 3. I think our top 3 is pretty much self-explanatory here, but number 3, we have Patrick Mahomes. Steven, I'm going to start with you on Patrick Mahomes.
Why?
Because he fucking wants to.
Because just fucking say things about Patrick Mahomes.
Just kidding.
What can't you say about Patrick Mahomes other than he has a pretty brother that we all hate? I mean, Patrick, you saw him yesterday. The one series he was in, he was 6 for 7, 70 yards. I mean, he was Patrick Mahomes of always, and he's going to be great. He's going to take the Chiefs really far. He's in a tough division again. That AFC is just tough as it is. Like Daniel said, you're either good or you're not. He'll be fine. He did lose Tyreek Hill. Not going to bother him. He's still got a great wide receiving core. He'll be fine. He'll be in the top 3 easily.
Yeah, I'll see him in week 3 in Indy for our home opener. So, which Daniel said the Colts are going to win. So I really appreciate that, Daniel. But I have Patrick Mahomes as my number 3 quarterback this season. You did. It was your hot take.
Nice.
Yeah.
I
forgot.
I
said the Colts are going to win the division. That was my hot take.
No, you said they're going to beat the Chiefs.
Nope.
Well, you did say that. It's on stream. It's recorded. Whatever. But I have Patrick Mahomes as my number 3 quarterback this season, despite him losing Tyreek Hill, Byron Pringle, Demarcus Robinson. Some people are saying that he is going to drop off this year because of the players he lost. I just can't see it. Like you said, Steven, what do you say? He was 6 for 7 for like 70 yards or something like that?
Yeah, there was just one series yesterday. He was 6 for 7. Easy. Nothing ever happened.
Yeah, his current average draft position in fantasy drafts right now is the 5th round. That's kind of crazy.
Wait, hold on. What?
His ADP is in the 5th round right now in fantasy drafts.
Y'all are stupid. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
That's insane.
If he is there in the 5th round, I'm taking him. He still has Travis Kelce. He acquired Juju Smith-Schuster, and they drafted Sky Moore. We educated Daniel on Sky Moore last week. Mahomes is also a rushing threat, and he will still be an elite fantasy quarterback this season. Last year, Mahomes accounted for 37 touchdowns and finished as the QB4 overall on the season. The guy is just a playmaker. Daniel, you care to weigh in on Patrick Mahomes here?
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Also, side note, I do have the Colts beating the Chiefs in that game.
Yeah, you did. Indianapolis. You said it on the stream, but
that was not my hot take, though.
Yeah, no, whatever. You said it on the stream.
Either way, Patrick Mahomes is a certified winner, And so like the top 5 of our quarterbacks here, I feel like they're all at that level because of their mentality and the way that they play the game. They all have that mentality like nobody's gonna beat me. Like I'm that dude, you know. Again, you guys kind of summed it all up. Patrick Mahomes lost some weapons. He got new ones. He's Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs are going to do really well this year. He's proved himself to me. I don't have much more to say on it.
Tony, you got anything to say on Patrick Mahomes? He's like, nope, I'm good. All right, I think it's all pretty much been said. We'll move on to number 2 in our rankings.
The wrong list.
Oh, that is the wrong list. Oh, we'll see that list in a little bit. My bad. We'll move on to number 2 in our rankings, which is Mr. Justin Herbert from the Los Angeles Chargers. Tony, since you didn't say anything about Patrick Mahomes, we will start with you. Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, young kid, great offense, very smart on the field. He's always consistent with points, both on fantasy and on the field. Dude's good. I'm excited to see how he's going to do this year. Talking about their offense, I think since we're going into running backs, I think he's going to struggle with Austin Eckler, especially if he can't stay healthy. But besides that, he's going to be just fine. The Chargers are a good team.
Yeah, I borderline had Herbert at QB1 overall. I have him at QB2, which is our consensus here. I don't think anybody had Herbert at QB1, but I almost put him at QB1. I won't be surprised if he ends the year at QB1, but I can't put him there just yet, just because we all know who QB1 is. He averaged just about 300 pass yards per game in his first 2 seasons in his first 2 years in the NFL. Herbert finished as QB2 in fantasy last year. Their offense was already great. They added some key defensive players as well, such as Khalil Mack. Watch out for Herbert and the Chargers this year. Daniel, care to weigh in on Mr. Justin Herbert?
Herbie.
Fully loaded.
Fully loaded, baby.
It's fully loaded with a team. Chargers might have fans after this season.
Being a Chargers fan has been rough for a while. No, dude, the Chargers, I want to see the Chargers do well. I'm so tired of the Chargers, like, being a good team and just not getting there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're such a good, solid, all-around team, and Justin Herbert is a stud quarterback. I had him kind of borderline with number 1 as well. But yeah, I mean, losing on, like, even if Austin Eckler does get hurt, I don't think that'll affect him that much. I mean, does Austin Eckler really catch that much out of the backfield? I feel like he doesn't.
He's a good pass catching back, though.
He is. He is, and he also gives him relief.
Right.
He's a good distraction.
Yeah. Even then, though, I think Justin Herbert's going to do like super well this year. Again, borderline number 1 for me this year, quarterback.
Steven, any Justin Herbert slander?
Not really. I mean,
slander.
It's not slander, at least.
I know.
I mean, he's a great quarterback. He'll be fine, as everyone said. I mean, there's really nothing else to say. Everyone else covered it. He'll be great.
All right. Well, we'll move on to our number 1 overall consensus quarterback, which I think everybody can guess who it is. It is Mr.
Baker Mayfield.
Josh Allen. Baker Mayfield. Mr. Josh Allen. Really, I think he'd be having a Super Bowl ring this fall had it not been for a coin flip.
We get it. Coin flip happened. God, get over it.
Steven, start with you.
Josh Allen, he's a great quarterback. I think he'll win Super Bowl MVP. If they make it to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, he'll easily be the MVP. He's just that good. Sorry, I'm playing with my dog at the same time.
Well, we'll move on to me then. Last year, Josh Allen averaged about 45 rush yards per game and about 260 pass yards per game. He finishes the QB1 overall last season, and those are some great fantasy stats. The rush yards alone give you an extra 4.5 fantasy points a game, and that can be huge in any fantasy matchup. Like Daniel said, he beat me by like 4 points the one year that I lost the championship, but had I played Josh Allen, it would have been good. Yes, Cole Beasley and Emmanuel Sanders left this offseason, but the Bills did bring in Gabriel Davis and Jamison Crowder in the offseason, and I think they can play the same roles that they played. Yeah. Allen also has Stephon Diggs to throw to, and he will be just fine. Josh Allen is an elite team, and I see him as a QB1 when it's all said and done. Tony, what you got on Josh Allen?
I mean, you said the bulk of it. He's always been consistent. The Bills finally knocked out the Patriots from the top team on the division. He's consistent, gets a job done. If he doesn't take the Bills to a Super Bowl anytime soon, it's going to be surprising. There's a lot of talent there. He's great, smart on the field, insane amount of yards, throwing in every game. He's fine. Picking him up is going to be great on your fantasy.
He's fine.
Like I said, the Bills got 2 years, or they're frauds.
Yeah.
Daniel, what you got on Josh Allen?
I mean, we pretty much covered most of it. We all have him at 1. You guys all have him at 1, yes?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. There's no questioning it. I mean, he's, again, certified winner, just like the top 5 of this board. I mean, you saw it last year. He should have been in the Super Bowl, should have won it. He is that quarterback that you want. You know, he's got the size, he's got the arm, he's great in the pocket. He's
smart.
There's nothing wrong with him at all. He's just he's like a perfect quarterback, and it's crazy. But yeah, number 1 for a reason.
I'm gonna take us to our 4-cam stream here. Isaac, if you're there, I like the setup, Casey. Thanks, Isaac. We set it all up ourselves. I mean, we got everything going here, and we got this stream going, which is really nice. So we thoroughly enjoy it. But you guys want to move on to some fantasy running backs?
Isaac said, I think Sam should be higher than Kyler Murray just because of the what?
It says just because of the.
Yeah, there's nothing after that.
Oh, Dak.
Oh, he said Dak.
Dak. I probably autocorrected for him. I think Dak should be higher than Kyler Murray just because of the. Because of the what?
Because of the division, probably.
Oh, probably, yeah. I will say the NFC West has a really tough schedule this year because they have to play the AFC West. So that's going to be.
Those divisions are going to tear each other apart.
Yeah, they're going to.
See a lot of injuries coming out of that. I hope not, but.
Yeah, nobody wants to see an injury, but let's move on to fantasy running backs. Now I can go to this screen. Fantasy running backs. Probably the most important position in fantasy football. What are you holding for?
Never mind. You answered my question.
What was your question?
I was going to ask you, would you rather have a running back or a wide receiver to go in? But I guess it would also depend on whether PPR league.
Yeah, whether it's PPR or standard league. Standard league, running back for sure. Standard league. I mean, depending on. I mean, these wide receivers this year are really good. So you got some good ones. But we'll do wide receivers next week. We'll cover that later when I talk about next week's show. But fantasy top 10 running backs, our consensus rankings. Number 10, we have Mr. Aaron Jones from El Paso, Texas. We will start with Steven here.
Mr. UTEP. Miners.
For those of you that don't know, Aaron Jones did go to UTEP, so that's why Steven's saying picks up Go Miners. Go ahead, Steven.
We all went to school with him at one point.
We did.
I played him in high school. He was in my whatever it's called, district.
Oh, really?
He was in my Pee Wee league.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Chapin played Burgess, and Burgess, he was at Burgess. So I got to see a lot of him from high school on, which is pretty cool now that I think about it. But anyways, Aaron Jones, he's a great running back. I mean, he's been pretty consistent the last 3 years with the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a little competition this year, as we mentioned a little bit last year. Going to be splitting a lot of the carries, but he should still pretty much finish in the top 10, if not at least top 15 in running backs. So he should be good.
Yeah.
Daniel, I want to give your take on Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones.
The only reason that I have Aaron Jones down at 10, I'm on this. I don't know if anybody, well, you guys obviously had him in here, but
I have him at 8.
The only reason I have him at 10 is because of the shared touches with
AJ
Dillon.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. Aaron Jones is he's a brute of a running back. And he's proved himself to me. I didn't think he was going to do as well as he has coming out of college because, he did go to UTEP from El Paso. You don't see a lot of that in the NFL, but
if at all,
I could see him a lot higher than this, honestly, finishing the season a lot higher. The Packers are going to probably run the ball a lot this season, considering, Devontae Adams is gone and there's not a lot of receivers there anymore. So I could see a lot of the run game being shared. I think Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon could go over 1,000 yards each. So
it's a good 2-headed monster over there.
Yeah, very good.
Tony, what you got on Mr. Aaron Jones?
Yeah. I mean, always rooting for him because, like you said, UTEP. First of all, I'm an alum, so anyone from UTEP I'm going to go for. I'm going to root for. I think. Speaking of that, I think the Eagles are starting a corner this year from UTEP.
Oh, really?
So it's good to see. It's good to see that UTEP's getting talent out there. Although
Yeah,
we
the
can't
Giants
offer
finally.
people. Yeah,
The
They're
Giants have
progressively
the
getting better.
lineman
People
still,
money.
no? Will Hernandez?
Yeah, Will Hernandez. He's
Yeah, he
not with
plays
the
for-
Giants anymore. He got traded.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but I mean, there's talent coming out of here. That's always good to see. I see Aaron Jones coming in top 15, but he's declined slowly. He is very, very consistent, but he's been declining recently, which is sad to see. Hopefully that's not the case, and that he proves me wrong. But um, I wish him good, man. I hope he stays healthy. But the Packers are going to be playing the ball. That's what kind of decided it for me.
Yeah,
Those
they
carries.
they do say that the NFL does stand for not for long. So normally running backs don't really. They're the most
I think
probably
they have
the
the
most
shortest.
the shortest lifespan in the NFL just because of the hits they take.
Well, yeah, they get
Um,
pulverized like almost every play.
I'm gonna go to the chat real quick. Isaac has been talking to us. Division and Hopkins isn't there for half the season. Yeah, we covered that a little earlier. Isaac, I don't know if you saw that. Him and AJ Dillon are splitting carries. Yeah, I'm gonna touch up on that a little bit right now. But Aaron Jones with Devontae Adams averaged about 3 targets per game and 20 yards a game off those targets. In the 7 games without Devontae Adams, he has averaged almost 7 targets a game and 55 yards in those games. That is big if you're in a PPR league.
That's huge.
It's huge.
5.
That's if he
8
catches
points
all
right
7.
there?
That's 7 points just for catching the ball, and then 5.5 points more for all the yards he
I
got.
don't know how to do math. Sorry.
Yeah, but Devontae Adams leaving is amazing for Aaron Jones. He will get carries, but I'm worried about AJ Dillon, like you said, Daniel. I don't know what AJ Dillon's role is going to be, but he's going to be in there. I think he can cut into Jones' production. You are betting on Jones being the red zone and goal line back over Dillon if you are taking Jones early. If Dillon is that back, you have wasted a first round pick. That's what I have on Aaron Jones. But if AJ Dillon is in there splitting stuff with him, he's not going to be a volatile first round pick. So
That's why I have him all the way down there at 10.
yeah. But we'll move on to the next running back in our rankings, which is number 9. We're moving a lot faster than last week, which is good, guys. Yeah, last week took forever. Number 9, we have Mr. Nick Chubb from the Cleveland Brownies. The Browns. Tony, I will start with you since they are in your division.
Nick Chubb, he's always consistent, great back. Struggled with injury, so as long as he can stay healthy, he's going to be good. He's going to be one of the top running backs. Always is. But like we said, he has to stay healthy. I'm not expecting too much from the Browns because at the end of the day, they're the Browns. They always find a way to
Be the Browns.
to choke. So I don't see them being. They're always a good game to watch because it's always a rivalry with the Steelers. So they always come for blood. But I don't see them being too much of a threat. But we're gonna find out. I just hope he stays healthy. He should have a good season.
Yeah, and then he's got that thing with Kareem Hunt right now. Kareem Hunt wants out of Cleveland. So if he's the only back there, watch out. Daniel, what do you think of Mr. Nick Chubb?
Nicky Chubb. Yeah, I mean, I have Nick Chubb at 9. I think you guys are just, copying my list here at this point, and you're frauds. But Nick Chubb is going to do super well this year again. He's another one of those backs that's proved himself for the past couple of years. He's very, he's like a low-lying quarterback, though. Not a lot of people talk about Nick Chubb, I feel like. But he's a good, consistent quarterback. He's a big dude.
You mean running back?
Running back. Sorry. Talking too fast for my brain to think.
I mean, Cleveland does need a quarterback right now.
Yeah,
so.
he'd probably be better than what they have. Mr. Jacoby Brissett. Sorry, Jacoby, I love you, but damn.
But
Wildcat.
yeah. But Nick Chubb is going to do really well again this year. Again, if his other back is gone, then that opens up however many yards extra for him. You know what I mean? It's just only the season will tell.
Yeah. Nick Chubb is one of the most consistent runners in the league. He was running back 11 last year, and that's with a split with Kareem Hunt. That's crazy. He averaged about 5.2 yards per carry last year, which is what you want to see out of your running backs. Kareem Hunt is the primary threat in Cleveland, but like I said, he's looking for a trade right now. But Chubb is a monster when Hunt doesn't play. He averaged almost 20 fantasy points a game. Hunt did not suit up for the Browns' first preseason game. If Hunt leaves this team, Chubb could instantly become a top 5 running back when the season ends. Maybe by the time you draft, Hunt has things figured out, but if he doesn't, I'm taking Chubb in drafts. I really like the guy. So, Steven, what do you think of Mr. Nick Chubb?
As everyone already said, he's he's basically Mr. Consistent. He's been top 10 at least for the past at least 5 years.
He was running back 11 last year in fantasy. But
one off.
But he is one of the I think one of the top 10 running backs in the past couple of years. I have him ranked at number 10.
I have him number 9, like Daniel is, and our consensus. Like I said, if Hunt gets out of Cleveland, I mean, he can shoot up there really fast. Well, he's that good, and Cleveland has a pretty good line. But with the questions at quarterback, I mean, I feel like they're going to use that running back a lot.
Yeah. We'll talk more on Cleveland later when we get to the AFC North, but we'll move on in our rankings here. We're going to running back number 8 in our running back fantasy consensus rankings, and it is Mr. Alvin Kamara. I will say I do not have Alvin Kamara in my top 10 right now because I cannot put him in my top 10 because of what he's got going on off field. Apparently, he beat up some guy in Vegas, and we're waiting to see what's going to happen. He might not even play. He might get suspended too, but we don't know what's going to happen there. Let me see who was really high on Kamara. Daniel, you have him at 8.
You're still copying my list.
Well, I don't even have him ranked in the top 10 right now, so I'm not copying anything. Steven, you have him at 7, and Tony, you have him at 9. So we'll move on to Steven. We'll start with you instead of ending with you here. What you got on Alvin Kamara?
I mean, he's a powerful back. He's very tall. He can pound that ball. I mean, the Saints are going to be good this year. I didn't even know that he was going to be possibly suspended. So if he plays, he'll be good. I have him at 7, like you said, just barely over. Jameis Winston's going to be the quarterback, right? Right now.
Mm-hmm. Famous Jameis, Mr. Crab Legs.
He has improved so much.
Yeah, he got LASIK. That's why.
True.
All those, yeah. But Alvin Kamara, I mean, he's a threat running the back. He's threat catching the ball. I mean, he'll be a 2-headed monster. I don't know who the backup is for the Saints. I don't think anybody does.
No.
If he doesn't play for
got me beat
for a while. So it's gonna be interesting to see if he gets suspended. If not, he'll be great.
Tony, what you got on Alvin Kamara? You have him ranked at number 9, it looks like, in your top 10.
I do. He's a double threat, like Steven said. He could catch the ball, he could straight out run it from the line. I mean, every now and then, which running back hasn't beat up someone in Vegas?
Good Lord.
Oh my gosh, this guy.
Wait, I'm facing another one of those. Marshawn
That's
Lynch.
funny. Marshawn Lynch got arrested for DUI.
You got
Say that on a body cam too.
Bolt or something.
Yeah. So
he was real fucked up.
I think he'll, especially with the whole Watson situation going on, he's going to get some suspension, but it's not going to be for long. So as soon as he's back on the field, he's going to be just fine. The dude's always been good. Kamara's always been good. Really good pickup for your line. Like you said, the NFL stands for not for long, so who knows how long he could keep it up. But with Winston at quarterback, they're going to be relying on the ground game a lot. So he's going to get a lot of touches. He's going to be able to show if he's still consistent this season. So he's going to be great.
Don't get me wrong. I think he is going to be great, but I just can't draft him if I don't know what's going to happen. So, but Daniel, are you drafting Kamara in drafts if he drops to you? What round are you drafting him in if he drops to you?
Personally, I don't think I would draft him just because of, I don't know. I don't even know what reason that would be. I don't have a lot of other backs. I mean, depending on how far down, I'm drafting a running back, it would just depend. Probably, we run standard league. I always think in PPR league for some reason, but we run standard. So I do have the 3rd pick, so I'm not taking Kamara with that.
Well, yeah, you can't take Kamara with a 3rd pick. That would be
I know.
I say do
it. No balls.
If Alvin Kamara is still there in the 3rd round, late 2nd, I'd say pick him up. Other than that, not really. I mean, he's in my top 10 just, disregarding the possible suspension. The Saints are going to do really well this year, I feel like. So I had to throw him in there. And there's been a couple of standout years for him where he really, really played well. So that's why I still have him up here. But there's a lot of other backs that you could take above him.
Well, I think, like I said, I think this is the year of the wide receiver, which, like I said, we'll talk about that next week. But I wouldn't be mad if you had a top 6 pick and you took Justin Jefferson from Minnesota, or if you took Cooper Kupp from the Rams, even if you're in a standard league, because those guys are going to produce. Yep. So
touchdown machines.
Yeah, both of them, which it's gonna be a great year. It's gonna be good. But we'll move on to rank number 7 in our consensus rankings.
Fuck yeah, the Red Sox won. Sorry.
All right, Daniel's Red
Fuck
Sox
the
won.
Yankees.
Well, let's go to the chat real quick because there's a lot. Edward said, "Daddy's here."
What's up, Daddy?
What's up, Daddy? Alvin Kamara
daddy,
is 5'10". Tony's definitely right. Cowboys winning NFC East. Isaac, you think the Cowboys are winning the NFC East? By the way, Isaac, Edward is in our fantasy league. He is CD's nuts. And you might want to change your name if you don't want to be Meet the Robinsons.
Fantasy league.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, I need to stop talking over Casey. I'm sorry.
You taking CMC before Kamara? Yes. If I have CMC in front of me, am I pick? I'm picking CMC.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah. Isaac says he's taking him second. So I guess I'm not getting Chris McCaffrey because he's going second. So I'm picking 5th.
You know, you're going to have to fight Doug on that one.
Yeah. Well, Doug is pick 12. So we don't have to worry about him for a while. But let's move on in our rankings. You guys keep talking in the chat. We will get to you. So don't worry. We'll get to you. But we got to keep moving on here. At number 7, our top 10 consensus fantasy running back rankings, we have Mr. Najee Harris. And Tony knows I'm starting with him because he loves him some Najee Harris on his team. Tony is a Steelers fan, for those of you guys that don't know. He has Najee Harris ranked number 4?
Damn right.
All right.
Like I said, they beefed up the offensive line, picked up a lot on the offseason. Najee Harris was consistent last year, even when there was nothing going on with the passing game. He was always a reliable back. I got a ton of points on fantasy. Off of Najee, so I know he's going to do even better this season. Sorry, I got distracted. Najee Harris, like I said, I see him going far with it this season. He's a young kid, started second season this year. He did well last year. He's going to do better. Let's see. I know that the Steelers are going to rely a lot on the running game because their situation with quarterback is still trying to be figured out. So that's going to be a good spot for him. But you guys don't pick up Najee because then I could take him in the later rounds.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. He's not going to make it back to you if you're back farther. Were you picking in the draft?
I'm going 9th. So
9th? Oh, yeah, he won't be there by the time you pick.
Najee, yeah, he is. Najee's terrible. You guys shouldn't pick him up.
I don't know. Maybe. But you were talking about your offensive line. I got some things to say about that. You think they beefed it up, but I'm kind of concerned about the offensive line in Pittsburgh. And that Mitchell Trubisky is your quarterback. I know Steven has a hot take riding on Trubisky taking the Steelers to the playoffs and winning a playoff game, but I just can't get on board with that. I tried fighting it and saying, hey, maybe he can do it, but he's got to prove it to me. He's kind of like the other quarterbacks we were talking about the other time. They got to prove it to me. The offensive line was just ranked number 30 out of 32 by Pro Football Focus, or PFF, for those of us that have been in fantasy game for a long time. That's kind of alarming, and I think Najee can still thrive, and he should have his moments this year. I have him at running back 5 this year, but I feel sorry for him last year when he was running through the offensive line. They weren't doing anything for him. They're like, oh, sorry, just figure it out, run. So I don't know if Najee's, I'm kind of scared for him with your offensive line, but you say they beefed it up. We'll find out. So Daniel, what you got on some Najee?
Hey, one of our teams made the playoffs this year.
Let's take this moment to look at Daniel fixing his mic.
Do you want to come back to him?
Yeah, we can go to Steven. All right, Steven, you go ahead.
You see how I lost my train of thought?
I've been laughing at that for the past 2 minutes. As Tony was talking, I was watching Daniel's screen the whole time, just making faces. It was great. Anyway, Najee Harris, Steelers, they'll be fine. As Tony says, he got a lot of points in fantasy last year. He should produce just as well. There's conflict, I guess, between you and Casey and Tony and Casey between if we think
it's not really a conflict. I mean, we got different opinions here, but that's why we play the season. We're gonna find out what's gonna happen, which I love.
Fuck off, Casey. It's conflict. Fucking fight each other.
Somebody finally fixed his mic.
It's the arm. It's the mic arm.
Whatever.
It's chalked. I thought it was okay. I put it back together and it was fine. As soon as I touched it, it fell apart again.
All right, we're gonna move to Daniel real quick. Daniel, you want to talk about Najee Harris, or are you good? You good on Najee Harris?
If anybody wants to donate an Elgato wave Mic arm? That'd be appreciated. Anyway, what are we talking about?
Najee Harris.
Oh, do I have Najee Harris in here? Oh yeah, I have him at number 5.
Yeah, I also have him at 5.
Why were you so surprised that Tony had him at 4 then?
No, I was just.
You have him 1 down.
It wasn't like a surprise thing. Just
trying
talk
to
about
cut
Najee
you.
Harris.
He was more talking about the
That's
offensive line.
Yeah.
Casey is one of the
If you were listening,
he doesn't admit it.
No. If you were listening, I was talking about their offensive line. How I don't think it's going to be very good.
Honestly, yeah, just go on. That's fine. You say what you needed to say about Najee Harris. Let's just move on.
This mic arm has Daniel frazzled.
I hate the Steelers.
All right, we're moving on to number 6 in our consensus rankings. Number 6, we have Mr. Dalvin Cook. Steven, I will start with you. What do you have on Dalvin Cook?
The Vikings. They're always so good on paper, and then they always do so trash. Dalvin Cook, he's probably been the most consistent player on that Vikings team. I mean, Kirk Cousins is still very consistent, but he's...
Hey, people talk bad about Kirk Cousins, but he's a great quarterback. He threw 33 touchdowns last year, only 7 interceptions.
And yet he
that's
only
great.
got, what, 8 wins?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know, but
I mean,
not entirely on him. They changed the whole coaching staff.
Yeah, but to say the coaching is probably the real issue of the reason why. With that said, Dalvin Cook should produce a lot more. Kirk Cousins should do a lot well, and I think most of us have the Vikings contending for that NFC North Championship this year. So Dalvin Cook should produce really well for them and help them get to that cause. He should be at least top 5. Top. Well, I have him at 6 with the rankings, but I think he could crack that top 5 easily. We'll see.
Where's he in the consensus? He's at number 6.
6, yeah.
6.
I have him at 6.
I have him at 7. If you have your own rankings at home and like say you have the 4th or 3rd pick in the draft and you pick Dalvin Cook, that's okay because he's not going to be there when he comes back around. So if you like Dalvin Cook a lot and you want to take him, take him. I have him ranked as the number 7 back overall just because I love the other 6 we have on the list ahead of him a lot more. But he isn't coming back around when you pick him again. That's what I just said. That being said, there are some things that could go against Cook this year. Kevin O'Connell is the new head coach in Minnesota, and coming from the LA Rams, I feel like the Vikings could go to the air more this year, and I think they should. They do have some great weapons. They still have Adam Thielen, who can still play, and they have Justin Jefferson, who could finish as the wide receiver 1 overall this year. It won't necessarily put Cook on the back burner, but their style of play can definitely change. Now, here's a bad thing about Cook. He can't stay healthy. Cook came into the NFL in 2017 and averaged about 11 games a year throughout that span. Cook has never played more than 14 games in a season. The man has never played a full season. That's crazy. Granted, in the games he plays, he's been absolutely elite, but that is one of the main reasons I have him ranked at running back 7. If he could play a full season, I might have him ranked as like 3 or 4. But I can't do it because he can't stay healthy. He's always missing games. Daniel, you got your thing figured out over there? Are you able to talk about some Dalvin Cook?
Yeah, we're good. I'm just,
figuring it out more.
Browsing mic arms. I'm still focused on the show. Don't worry. I'm just, it's kind of urgent considering,
it's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, eat shit. Anyway. Dalvin Cook, yes?
Yes, Dalvin Cook.
Yes.
I have Dalvin Cook all the way at number 3.
Yeah, see. Proves my point.
Yeah. So going off of what you just said, the games that he has played in, he's just been bonkers. He is an elite running back. He's just prone to injury. I think the Vikings will spread the ball out a little more this season, and I think they're going to do better, especially considering, their division. The Packers will be less of what they were before.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's going to ride on, staying healthy and injuries. But other than that, I really like Dalvin Cook going into the season.
Tony, what you got on Mr. Dalvin Cook?
Like you said, he's struggled a lot with injury. So if it wasn't for that, he'd be a lot higher on everyone's list. He produces. He's a big threat. I mean, he had come back from injury when the Vikings played the Steelers last season, and he just was out there running through them like butter.
Yeah, I remember watching that game.
Yep, he is good when he's healthy. So if he can stay healthy this year, then he's going to be a big threat. So I don't see him going past the second round because he's gonna be picked up.
Well, I think he's going to get picked up in the first like 6 or 7 picks.
I
I don't think he goes
out of the first round.
Yeah, there's no way. If he goes out of the first round, you're winning your fantasy league because
I don't see him. Yeah, I don't see him going into the second round. I'm sorry. That's what I meant to say. My bad.
Yeah, he's definitely not going. He's not going past the 6th or 7th pick. But
if he does, pick him up.
Yeah, if he does, definitely pick him up. Let's go to the chat because we haven't really talked to the chat a little bit. Isaac said that.
Where are we? We are.
You don't think CMC has just as many question marks as Kamara? CMC cannot stay healthy either. That is his problem.
He's worse than Cook.
But
yeah,
he's better than Cook. He produces more than Cook when he's out there. So, sorry, I just want to pick your brain.
There's no one else on Carolina. That's why.
I'm taking D Cook before CMC and Kamara, to be honest. Yeah, Edward, I can't take Kamara right now at all. Like, even the only way I take Kamara right now is if he drops to me like the 8th round, because I don't know what's going to happen with his suspension if he gets one. There's a lot of unknowns around Kamara, which is what we were talking about probably before you hopped on. I would probably take Dalvin Cook before Christian McCaffrey as well, just because of the injuries to Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey's made of glass
every year.
That's all I got there.
Every single year.
Edward McCaffrey may fall to you at 7. I mean, even if you have Justin Jefferson or Cooper Kupp at 7, I'd take one of them because they are so good. They're really, really good this year. Like I said, you're the wide receiver, so that's what I got there. But we'll move on to rank 5 here. Rank 5 in our fantasy running backs is Mr. Austin Eckler. He's probably a little lower on our board than he would be on most boards. I know a lot of people like him number 2 or something like that. I actually have him ranked number 2. Last year, Austin Eckler finished as the running back 3, and he has extremely high potential this season. He's in a high-octane offense run by Justin Herbert, and they got better. The whole AFC West got better. We've talked about it in past streams, but I do think that Eckler will not score 20 touchdowns this season like he did a year ago. If you actually go back 2 years, Eckler only scored 3 touchdowns. That's a big discrepancy. I do think that he will be great this year, though. The Chargers added Isaiah Spiller from Texas A&M in the 4th round of this year's draft, and I think Spiller is a great complement to Eckler in the backfield, and he can definitely steal some carries. But that's what I have on Eckler. I do have him ranked as number 2 just because he was so elite last year. I don't see how he really drops off. He also said in the preseason, if you want to win your fantasy league, draft me. So I like that. So, Steven, what do you think of Austin Eckler?
I mean, he had 20 touchdowns last year. What number did he finish last year?
3. Running back 3.
Do you think he's going to go that high again?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He'll be going that high in drafts.
He's got him at 2.
Probably in our draft, he'll probably go around 3 or 4, or he should.
I mean, I have him at 5, just like the consensus here. I mean, he's a great back. It'll be interesting to see if he can be as consistent as he was last year. But like you said, they drafted Spiller in that 4th round last year. That'll steal some carries, but he should still be able to produce a lot. As long as he stays healthy, he'll be fine.
Yeah, Spiller is a great running back, by the way. If he comes in the NFL like he came out of Texas A&M, they're gonna do good things. Daniel, what do you think of Mr. Austin Eckler?
So this might piss people off, but I have Austin Eckler down at 7.
That's why he's so low on
running backs. Yeah, I have a couple of running backs down there because of injury proneness. I have Christian McCaffrey down at 6 as well, just because of being prone to injury. If he stays healthy, he could be up there again with that high caliber offense. But it's a tough division, man. They're gonna, like I said earlier, they're gonna beat the life out of each other in those games, those divisional matchups. I mean, that's 6 of your season right there. So, and then the AFC West and NFC West play each other. No.
Yes, it's gonna be some great football on the West Coast this year.
10 of your games are gonna be smash mouth football, and it's terrifying for both of those divisions. Good luck to Austin Eckler. I hope that he can, pull out pause. I hope that he can. I hope that he plays as well as he thinks he will this year, and that he proves himself like that. I have him down at 7 though, just because of injuries.
Tony, I know you had Austin Eckler on your fantasy team last year, and he needed 1 point in one game against Isaac, I believe, who is in the chat. So
I remember that.
Yeah. Care to give your take on how you thought Austin Eckler did for you last season?
Was that in the playoffs?
No,
it was a regular season.
It was in the middle of the season, but
Okay.
it's what kept me out of playoffs.
Yeah, because he needed
It
to
was that
win.
one loss.
Instead, I got in, but I lost in the first round.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I saw that. I had a solid pickup last year, but Eckler was the backbone for my fantasy team because he was just consistent and earning so many points on a weekly basis. Like you said, the only thing that sucks about him is that he is very injury prone. He'll have a good start of the game, get injured, and leave in the third, fourth quarter. So that kind of sucks. You can't rely on him completely because of those injuries. So if he could stay healthy, he's going to do amazing. He has in the past 20 touchdowns last year. I don't know if he'll get up there, especially because he's going to probably end up splitting carries.
Yeah.
But he's still going to be a consistent back. He's still going to be a good pickup. So he should go high in the draft.
Yeah, like I said, he's a top 5 pick for sure. But yeah, those carries with Spiller and the injuries are the question mark this year. So we don't know what's going to happen.
I think the age is just going to get. If anything gets done, it's going to be the age.
Yeah, but we'll move on to number 4 in our fantasy running back rankings. Number 4 consensus, we have Mr. Joe Mixon. Tony, I will go right back to you since he is in your division. Joe Mixon, a lot of people think he's really old. I think he's only like 26, though. I think he's not that old of a back. He came from Oklahoma. He is a really good back. Tony, what do you think of Joe Mixon this year in a revamped Cincinnati offense?
Like you said, he's a really good back. He's got his veteran card for sure. So he's smart on the field. He actually doesn't get hurt very often. So he's a reliable back. With that revamped offense, there is a lot of mouths to feed. So unless they're going to rely on the running game this year instead of the passing game like they did last year to get them to the playoffs, then he should be consistent. But where did I put Mixon? I put him at 7.
I actually have him at, I think I have him the highest. I have him at 3. Actually, Steven has him at 2.
I have him at 2.
Yeah, I see too many weapons on that team for them to solemnly swear and solemnly stick to that running game. So
Harry Potter.
A little bit. What do you got? So he's going to be a good pickup, but I don't see him producing more than Eckler and Cook. So
Steven, you have him.
They can stay healthy.
Yeah, Steven, you have him at rank 2. What do you have on Mr. Joe Mixon that has him so high?
I mean, you already said it. He's on a revamped offense. He's been Mr. Reliable for the Bengals before Joe Burrow was there. I mean, he was basically their offense.
Yeah, he was the entire team.
Yeah. So, and now with the help, he's going to be able to produce well. He won't be so batted up this year. Especially with that new offensive line, he'll have plenty more holes to run through, easily opening up plays for him. So he should easily finish at least in the top 5, if anything, the top 3, in my opinion.
Daniel?
Yep. So I have Joe Mixon at number 4. Mm-hmm. Sorry, what did you say, Tony?
He said you have him at 4.
So I have him at 4. Like you guys said, revamped Bengals offense. I really like the Bengals going into this season. I mean, they Super Bowl last year, they didn't change a lot, and what they did change made them better. So I got Joe Mixon up at 4. He's going to produce a lot this year. That's all I really have to say.
Yeah, I have him up at 3. Joe Mixon, like you guys said, is the workhorse in Cincinnati. Over the past 2 years, how much of the team's carry rate do you think you guys think he had?
Like rush carries, yeah.
Percentage.
I'll say high 60s.
You're close. 70%.
Yeah.
Oh, what did I say?
Yeah, I didn't hear you say it. So
Tony was on the
nose.
Tony
was right on the nose. 70%. This year, Mixon gets an extremely upgraded offensive line. The Bengals' offensive line will not lead the NFL in sacks this year. That is for sure. Look out for Mixon this year. He is a 3-down player on what should be an amazing offense. So I really like Mixon this year. That's why I have him as my running back 3. But overall, we don't have him that way. We have him at 4. Is that where we have him?
Yeah.
We have him at 4. But we'll move on to number 3. Unless anybody's got anything else to touch up on with Mr. Joe Mixon over here. All right, moving on to number 3. We have Mr. CMC, Christian McCaffrey.
Glass legs, baby.
Glass legs. I'll start with him. I love Christian McCaffrey, when he can stay healthy. I don't want to call him injury prone because I don't think that's really a thing, but when he isn't on the field, drafting him in the first round is a wasted pick. Kind of like Aaron Jones later if Dylan splits carries with him. Believe it or not, he has missed 23 out of the last 33 games his team has played due to injury. He's only played in 10 games the last 33 games. That's crazy. If he can stay healthy and if Baker Mayfield is his starter, I think McCaffrey has top 5 running back potential. I will not be drafting him this year, though, because it's too big of a risk barring an injury.
You're also too low in the draft.
You're also too low, bro. You don't have the option.
Yeah, I'm at pick 5, but it's all right. But I'm in other drafts, too, so there's that. But, yeah, you guys threw me off here. I still have him at RB4 because of his potential. I hope he stays healthy. That's
yeah,
just
me
all
too.
I got on him.
Let's say I think we all want him to stay healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, how many games has he played total his career out of?
Oh, total in his career? I don't know. I can look that up real quick though.
Just because I mean, God, there's always. Go ahead.
He played 10 out of the last 33. He's only been in the league for what, 5 years?
He's played in 26 games since 2019.
26 games, that's 2 seasons. That's less than 2 seasons.
Yeah. I don't have his career here, but 26 games since 2019. That's still not a lot of games.
Yeah. But like you said, when he's on the field and playing, he's phenomenal. I mean, he would be probably number 1 if he could just stay healthy.
Oh, he would be.
Yeah, easily.
I agree.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Easily. I mean, besides Jonathan Taylor maybe, but he would easily be top 2. But with that injury, I mean, it's just so hard to take him. It's hard, but I mean, you never know. This might be the year that he stays healthy for the whole year, and then you get lucky.
We'll see what happens. Daniel, what you got on CMC?
It's been like that for a couple of years now. I had Christian McCaffrey 2 years ago. I think I had Christian McCaffrey the year that I beat you in the championship.
Yeah, you did have him. No, you did have him the year you won. He wasn't playing though in the championship game because he was hurt.
He wasn't playing because he was hurt, but
and he still lost.
And I still lost.
Jalen Hurts, that's why. Anyway, though, I have Christian McCaffrey all the way down at 6 on this list, and it's just because of injuries, man. Like everybody said, we all want him to be healthy. We all want to see him produce because he is an amazing player. He's high caliber. He's fast as fuck. There's not much more to say on him. I mean, he's RB1 if he can stay healthy. You know what I mean? RB1 competing with Jonathan Taylor up there, but either way, that's it.
We're gonna call timeout here because I think we lost Tony. Tony said, "Don't go to me. I lost y'all." Our cameras are about to change here in a second.
Take it to the 4cam real quick.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the 4cam scene here. Look at Tony all frozen.
There he is. Maybe not.
Oh, hey! We found him. Technical difficulties are fun. We're live, guys.
Gotta get off that Walmart Wi-Fi.
He's on the Denver Bronco Wi-Fi, baby.
Right. I'm outside the stadium.
He's trying to get it from inside. All right. Well, let me go back to this board here.
Yeah, let's keep going.
All right, live. Yeah, let's do this. Going to our number 2 fantasy running back consensus rankings, we have Mr. Derrick Henry. Yeah, I'll start since he's in my division here, but I'm gonna piss off some Titan fans here. So this should be fun.
You're a Colts fan?
No, that's not. Well, that might be part of the reason.
That's
they just see the horseshoe and they're just like, "Yep."
Because everybody's gonna disagree with what he said right here.
Coming off injury last year, Henry is looking to bounce back this season. He was in place to be the clear running back 1 on the season until the foot injury kept him back. Henry this year does get a downgraded offensive line this year, and it may be the worst line he's ever had to work with. A.J. Brown leaving for Tennessee may hurt Henry a bit. I think it brings their overall offensive efficiency down with not as many scoring drives this year. I know I'll have people mad at me, especially Titan fans, but I just have one thing to say to them. Jonathan Taylor is better, and the Colts are winning the AFC South this year. See you guys in week 4 in Indy. We will have an L hot and ready for you to take back to Nashville. Oh, man.
Ooh. I can't wait till week 4 when Casey's just wrong.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that should be fun. They're probably
I
going to
want
win
everybody
now.
to remember that so we can come back and just talk all the shit.
Yeah, but talking about Titans, it gets me all fired up, kind of like you with the Eagles, Daniel. So, yeah. But we'll move on to you. What do you think of Derrick Henry?
King Henry. All hail. Dude, Derrick Henry's a monster. 6'3", 247 pounds, beast. He is a monster of a running back, and it doesn't make any sense. The fact that he is as fast as he is at the size that he is insane. Having said that, I agree with what you were saying about the Titans offense kind of, stepping it back a little bit. Their efficiency won't be as high.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that just leaves more for him to put on his shoulders. So if he's not injured last year, he breaks records.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But
take Derrick Henry if you can.
But here's the thing. Do you think the Titans are going to use him as much as like a wrecking ball like they usually do? You think they are?
Yeah.
They got nothing to rely on except the running game.
Yeah, he hurt his foot against the Colts. Yeah.
And what injury was it? It wasn't.
He
even
broke
like
a bone in his
injury.
foot. No, he broke a bone in his foot.
It was like a stress fracture though, no?
I don't know. Let's look it up.
Because he wasn't. He was back for
the end of the season.
Derrick Henry missed 9 games 2021 after breaking a bone in his foot. That's what it says. So.
Well, I think he bounces back. I think he does really well. He's a beast. There's no denying it. And
he finishes
that
one
was
of the top
first time in his career that he's been injured like that. So
yeah, but
time will tell.
We'll see what happens. He's a big dude, so there's that. Tony, what do you got on King Henry?
I mean, it's already been said. He's a monster. The team lost receivers, which means that he's going to get a lot of the stress load. Although he already had it, they're just going to rely on him that much more. So fantasy wise, he's going to be great as long as he could keep that foot healthy again. Like you said, he was on track to be number 1 last year.
Mm-hmm.
Missed a ton of games, and that's when Taylor was able to catch back up to his stats. If it wasn't for that, he would have been number 1 all around. So he's just going to be a monster.
Steven, I'm going to go to you, but before you talk, I'm going to say that Henry, he was out 2 games before Taylor caught him. So there's that.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, it took Jonathan Taylor, I think, 2 games to catch up to where Derrick Henry was at when he got injured, which is insane. If he can produce like that this year, he's easily top 2, top 1 running back this year. Could you imagine just being that defensive player when he's just running towards you? Oh God, I couldn't even imagine.
It's terrifying.
It's terrifying. Just what he did to Jalen Ramsey that one time, easily just pushed him away. That was probably one of the greatest moments ever. But anyways, Derrick Henry, he's a great running back. He's a monster, as everyone said. He'll be easily top 3 running backs. It's going to be interesting to see where people take him.
Yeah, we'll move on to number 1. I know we have Derrick Henry at 2, and don't take this the wrong way. I do like Derrick Henry. I think he's great. He's a great running back. I'm a Colts fan, so I just got to talk shit. Moving on.
Imagine seeing that big ass monster coming your way though. Like,
don't apologize. Talk your shit.
Yeah, but moving on. Number 1 is the best running back in the league,
Ezekiel Elliott.
Hey, yeah, get the hell out of here, Jonathan Taylor. Need I say more? I've got his jersey on. Look, for this stream. I am super sad. I am super sad that I do not have the number 1 pick in our fantasy draft this year, so I can draft him. By the way, our fantasy draft will be streamed live August 28th at 7 p.m. If you guys want to check it out, we'll be doing that. Next week, I plan on doing a mock draft on this stream. So that's what we're going to do next week, guys, just so you know. I haven't told them yet, but now we know. Andrew, who is in our fantasy league. Andrew, congrats on getting that number 1 pick. And I think we all know that you will be taking Taylor. Taylor played in 17 games last season and averaged 19.6 fantasy points a game. He finished as a running back 1 overall, but like you guys said, and because Derrick Henry got hurt, I think he gets better this year with Matt Ryan at QB. It is definitely an upgrade from Carson Wentz. Taylor is my number 1 running back this season. Go Colts. That's all I got. So, move on to Daniel.
Oh my God. My microphone is just having all sorts of problems right now.
At least we can still hear you, so that's
There we
good.
go. Better?
Yep.
Nope. I'm getting really loud. I don't know what's going on.
You're okay.
Oh, now you're loud.
Just gonna turn that down. All right. There. Okay, we're fine. Everything's fine. Sorry. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor should be the number 1 pick. I mean, it's either him or Derrick Henry. You know, Derrick Henry's coming off injury, so that leaves the question. Jonathan Taylor's not, so there's no flags for him there. No football pun intended, but Jonathan Taylor's going to be the number 1 pick overall in a lot of leagues.
Hell yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Tony, what do you think of Jonathan Taylor?
I mean, he's proven himself. He's a great back. Just because of his production last year with Henry falling off, like you said, he's going to go number 1 all around in a lot of leagues. He's going to have a lot of competition for that 1 spot this year, but he's going to do. The Colts have done great with a running game these past few years, so he's going to be doing great. I mean, there's really nothing much else to say about him. He's just a great back all over. Catch the ball, runs the ball. He's good all around.
Steven?
I agree. I mean, he should easily be the number 1 pick. The good thing about Jonathan Taylor that was cool last year is from when the season started, he got progressively better every game.
Yes.
And he didn't have any tapering off during any of the season, except maybe that Jags game, but Casey knows all about that game. It haunts him to this day until they finally win in Jacksonville. But anyways, easily pick number 1. I mean, it's a no-brainer. If you don't, and you pick at least Derrick Henry, you have 2 good picks to work with at least. So that's gonna be fun to see what happens 1 and 2 this year.
Perfect. I'll bring up the running back rankings just one more time so everybody can see it. It's so pretty. All right, let's go to our 4-cam scene here. I do have a question for all you guys. If you guys did have the number 1 pick this year, who would you draft?
Over.
I mean, for me,
Carson Wentz.
I want to say
This guy.
throughout this podcast stream show, we're going to treat fantasy football like it's a standard league. So if anybody, has arguments based on this kind of stuff, just know that that's it. So running backs should go first.
Yeah, but we can talk PPR too, so that's okay.
Yeah. But in regards to this, I don't know. It's a toss up for me. If I had the first pick, it would either be Jonathan Taylor or Derrick Henry. There's no in between for me there.
Tony?
It's a tough choice. Honestly, going with either one of those, I think you're going to do amazing when you're a running back game. So it's going to be a first. It's going to be a fun first 2 picks. That's for sure.
Steven, who would you take?
I don't know. I mean, I said it right there. I was like, you either take Jonathan Taylor or Derrick Henry. I mean, Henry's the more proven player. He's been consistently playing well. I mean, besides last year getting hurt, but that was the first time he's gotten hurt.
His only red flag.
That's the only time I think he's ever gotten hurt.
That's the only time he's ever been hurt.
Yeah, I mean,
and missed games.
And if he didn't get hurt last year, he would easily be number 1 this year, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But
he would have broken records last year.
Yeah, you
that
guys.
question doesn't apply to any of us because we don't have that.
The number 1 pick.
Yeah, that's true.
You guys know who I would take. I'd definitely take Taylor. So there we go. All right, let's go to the chat real quick. John has joined the chat.
Get an iPhone.
Get an iPhone, John. Fucking dick. Too bad I'm pick number 7. Interesting. Cliche as fuck. He was probably talking about my Jonathan Taylor talk. He's a human captain insane. That's Derrick Henry. Yeah.
That's Derrick Henry, yeah.
2 top 10 segments and 0 Texan players. Shake my head. For those of you guys that don't know John in the chat, he is a Texans fan.
Who is the quarterback in Houston this year?
Davis Mills. Davis Mills, yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Yeah. We saw him play last year.
Yeah, we did. We did
he
see
got
him play last year.
Hey, he got them past the 50-yard line last year.
Dude, when the Texans crossed the 50-yard line against the Colts, John cheered. Like, they all cheered like they won the Super Bowl. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
But there were more Colts fans in the stadium than there were Texan fans. I
felt at that point, because it was the 4th quarter by the time that happened.
That stadium was empty the entire game.
Rough.
Like, Rough times in
Nasty-ass
Houston
hot
right now.
dogs,
I'm
that's
so
what-
sorry.
Also,
John.
by the way, don't ever get the hot dogs at NRG Stadium.
God,
Oh
man.
my God. Let me tell you guys this story. So we go, they said it was a hot dog, but it was gray when I got it.
It was gray.
It was a gray hot dog, and I have no idea why
I
they
took
were
one
serving
bite.
those. I
spit it
took
out.
one bite and went, and then I threw it down on the ground, and then we went to
Spit it out.
Whataburger after the game. So
I'm gonna take that and screenshot it and make that our next thumbnail. What K-12 did.
With a
We didn't go to
Yeah,
we didn't go to Whataburger after the game. We went to a Mexican restaurant.
I went to Whataburger before the game.
We went to Whataburger before the game.
Yeah, that's what we did. But yeah, so good times. We're going back in a couple of weeks. I will be in Houston with Steven, hopefully. Yeah, Steven's going. So me and Steven will be in Houston. We will be doing a video from the
I'll get a
stadium.
video there.
Yeah, so we'll do something fun and we'll post that later. But
We'll have John too.
hot dog.
Texan
We'll get a
fans,
hot dog.
I'm coming for you. I am not having a hot dog.
so we can see it.
Oh,
well,
you know
no,
what?
we'll-
We
we'll
could
get
do
one.
that.
We'll
Actually,
get
you know
one
what?
just
I
so
might
we can see
record it and be like, hey
Do it
guys,
for the content.
don't eat these hot dogs. So, but
Redemption
TikTok.
video.
let's move on to the NFC and AFC North. You guys want to do the NFC or the AFC first? Probably the.
I don't.
I mean, these are both pretty good divisions this year
Let's do
to
the
really
NFC
talk about.
since-
The NFC North.
Yeah,
All right.
just do it. Yeah.
So let's switch the board. Here we go. NFC North predictions. Any guesses? Well, I think you guys already know who we have as number 4. The 4th ranked
Like
team
the squad.
that we have here for the
The
NFC North
Texans. Oh wait.
is the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears are our number 4 team. Believe it or not, we have the Chicago Bears below the Lions. And it's mainly because Tony, I believe, gave the Bears a 3-14 record. Yep. Tony has the Bears at 3-14. Daniel has them in 3rd at 5-12. Steven has them in 3rd at 5-12. I have them at 4th at 4-13. So we'll release the consensus rankings here, which is 4-13. But who wants to talk about the Bears first? The Bears.
The Bears.
Can we just be honest here and just say that there's not much to talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Next team.
We'll just let's go to the 4-cam scene. I know Justin Fields said that the Bears have a different mindset this year, but after giving Fields absolutely no help on offense, I am just hoping that Fields doesn't get crushed out there. Like,
That's their mindset.
this dude is gonna get killed because they didn't help him at all. The Bears
you don't know that.
The Bears have one of the worst offensive lines in the league. They lost Allen Robinson. The Bears are just a mess this year.
Offenses in the league.
Yeah. The whole offense is bad. Best thing they did
Just leave
last
it as
year
a
was
team.
get rid of Matt Nagy, who was there way too long. So, Bears
They
fans,
actually won their preseason game yesterday.
they did. I did see that. So, they did.
Not that it matters.
Yeah, not that it matters. They also don't have the easiest of schedules. They play the Eagles, the Packers twice. They play the AFC East, where the only team I give them a chance of beating is the Jets, but I still think the Jets are going to win that game, as I think the Jets are the better team this year.
The Vikings twice.
I just don't see the Bears winning more than 5 games this year. That's just my take on them. Anybody else
Under.
got anything on the Bears?
Nope.
Nope.
I
All
just
right.
want to say real quick before we start throwing teams just completely out the window. It's still the NFL. You know, anything can happen. They're all professionals. But
Look,
yes, the Bears won't do well. As I'm not trying to defend them there, but
Well, to your point, look what the Jaguars did to the Colts last year.
exactly.
So that was the last game of the year. They destroyed us.
Yeah,
Wasn't even
it's
close.
the NFL. Any team
Hey,
can beat
broken
any
clocks
team
work.
any given week.
Broken
Yeah.
clocks work right twice a day.
All right. Let's move on to the number 3 team. Number 3 team that we have here is the Detroit Lions. Should be no surprise there. Our consensus rankings are at 5-12. I will go back to our 4-cam scene here. Anybody want to bash the Lions first?
Daniel did it last week, so he can go first.
Casey, you have pretty high, not expectations, but I think you're riding the Lions pretty high this year.
They will be better than years past. The Lions are my mother's favorite team. And Mom, before we begin, I just want to say I'm sorry. So there you go.
I'm not. They suck.
Tony
Okay,
and
Casey's
Daniel.
a Colts fan. It's even worse.
Tony and Daniel, I know last week you guys said that the Lions are trash. That being said, the Lions got some major help in the draft this year. They got Aiden Hutchinson out of Michigan, go blue, who I believe will be the best pass rusher out of the whole draft.
Did you guys see that video of Aiden Hutchinson dancing in front of the team?
No, I haven't seen it.
They were doing I I guess they were doing like initiation for him, and he had the entire film room just up, hyped out,
That's
dancing.
awesome.
I think it was Billie Jean. No, I think it was Beat It.
It's because they're doing.
Michael Jackson.
They're on Hard Knocks, aren't they?
I believe so.
I believe the Lions are on
Yeah.
Hard Knocks, but that's pretty cool. I'm gonna check that out. But they also
check
got
that out if you haven't seen it.
They also
we
got-
can't show it here for copyright purposes.
Yes,
but
exactly.
Go check it out.
They also got Jamison Williams out of Alabama, who I believe is by far the best wide receiver to come out of the draft. And yes, I know he's coming off a torn ACL, but he should be good to go midseason. The Lions might be a thorn in the side of a lot of teams this year, and these won't be the Lions of previous years. I still don't think they have a winning record, as I have them going 5-12, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them win a few more. Mom, your Lions are on the right track. This year just isn't the year. So that's all I got about on the Lions. Anybody else have anything to add?
I think you covered most of it. They'll be better, but they still won't be good.
You think we should just show the video?
No.
No, we
It's
can't show the
NCAA.
video. So, yeah. But let's
Hard
go.
Knocks, go watch it.
Yeah, Hard Knocks, go watch it. Back to the NFC North. Our number 2 team. This is where it kind of gets a little more spicy. Team number 2, we have a consensus of the Minnesota Vikings with a record of, that's the wrong team, of 10-7.
Oof.
So Minnesota Vikings going 10-7. I think I'm the only one that has the Vikings winning the division. All you guys
You're
have
the
the
only one in the-
Packers winning the division. I'm not the only one in the world that has
I know.
the Vikings winning
Just give me
the
the
division.
shit.
But what you guys got on the Vikings?
Like you said, they look great on paper, but they always find a way to.
They have to show it.
Disappoint somebody?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have to
I'll
show it.
believe the Vikings when I see it.
Yeah, if you guys missed it
I'll
last
believe
week,
when I see it.
I always talk about how the Vikings always look great on paper and then they just the whole season. So, the Vikings don't have the easiest of schedules this year with games against the Packers twice, the Eagles, the Saints, the Dolphins, the Cardinals, the Bills, the Cowboys, and my Colts. Minnesota fans, I will see you in your stadium the week before Christmas. Come and say hello if you guys see me. If the Vikings can win a lot of those games, they could be a surprise in the NFC this year. I think their offense will go to the air more this year and utilize their wide receiver weapons. I have them finishing 10-7, winning the North Division, but they could definitely win more games. I believe the Vikings do get back into the playoffs this year either way after missing out on the postseason the past 2 years. So I do like the Vikings this year. I believe they're going to win the NFC North. These guys don't. I think they all have the Packers, which of course is our number 1 team. But
Yep.
anything else to add on the Vikings?
They got to prove it. That's all.
Mhm.
I think I can say that for everyone else here. They have to prove it before we can put them above the Packers, because the Packers have proved themselves year in and year out. The Vikings have not. So
Yeah. We go back to the chat here. Josh Bittinger has entered the chat, people.
This is our year, Josh.
Season, shut the fuck up. Preseason scores are literally irrelevant. Yes, they are, Josh. We do know that. 08 Lions were 4-0 in the preseason. That is all. I think that's the team that went 0-16, wasn't it?
Was that 2008? Was that long
Yeah,
ago
I think it was
already?
the 08 Lions. Yeah, it was that long ago already.
That was 14 years ago.
The last 6 decades hasn't been their year. Josh is really talking about the
Daniel
Lions
was-
over there. So,
Daniel was in kindergarten.
oh my god, that's
In
crazy.
2008,
No, just kidding.
I was
Daniel was 8,
I was 9.
9, whatever. Can't do math.
I was in 3rd grade.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, moving on to the number 1 team.
Junior year in high school.
Team number 1, which I messed up earlier, is the Green Bay Packers with a record of 11-6. You all have the Packers winning the division and actually winning the NFC North. What do you guys have to say on the Packers?
Consistency.
Yeah.
You have consistency in Green Bay. They always do better than what they look like on paper.
Mhm.
They're the opposite of the
always finds a
Vikings.
way to get them out there. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers already owns the Chicago Bears. I mean,
Yeah.
so, I mean,
I own you. I own you. As he's scoring a touchdown, doing a discount double
Yeah.
check.
Dude, Aaron Rodgers is a stud.
They have
man.
his stats on their
I love Aaron
field.
Rodgers.
Yeah, I like him too. I don't know why people hate him, but
They
I-
call
Aaron
him-
like
Rodgers is a treasure. He's funny.
I say I don't know why people hate him. I know why you
Yeah.
Bears fans hate him, but that's a
Oh, yeah.
different story. To me, Green Bay needs to figure out their wide receiver situation after losing a lot of their receivers from last year. The Packers, in my opinion, will still have one of the best run games in the NFL with A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, as we talked about earlier. Great 1-2 punch. I think the Packers' defense will be okay as well, as they have a lot of talent on that side of the ball. With Aaron Rodgers at the helm, the Packers will win games, and they should be contenders for the NFC North title. It's going to be between the Vikings and the Packers.
Packers.
I agree.
The Packers
I think
could
the
very
Vikings-
well run away with it, but I think the Vikings are going to put up a fight.
Yeah, exactly right.
Perfect. Anything else in the chat? Nope. Nobody loves us. All right. Oh, there's Josh. They aren't going to win the division. Aaron has no one to throw to. Josh, who do you think's going to win the NFC North? If you say the Lions, I'm going to shit myself.
The Cowboys.
He's going to say the Cowboys.
Everybody that's watching right now, make sure you like the video, and if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. We love you and appreciate you.
And send a donation to Daniel to buy a new arm mic.
Yeah, somebody send me $100 so I can buy a good mic card.
We can't receive donations yet. We need 1,000 followers.
You can send direct donations.
Yeah.
Well,
drop the cash apps.
Venmo.
Josh, I also have a question for you. What is the realistic record you're giving your Cowboys this year?
17-0, baby.
17-0. Let's go.
He's like,
first undefeated season in the 17-game era. I don't think that'll ever happen.
That's never going to happen, no.
I don't know. I mean, the Patriots went 16-0 one year and then lost in the Super Bowl, right?
I think
so. They went technically like 18-0 before
they went 19-0.
I think they said no. I think it was
18-0.
18 wins, 1 giant loss.
Yeah,
because they lost to the Giants.
So it's possible. I mean,
I don't know, but we'll see.
Anything's possible.
Let's move on to the AFC North ranking division board. So the NFC North is done. Here is the AFC North. The 4th place team we have here is the Cleveland Browns, with a record of 7-10.
The Browns.
It's funny that you said it like that. I had it in my notes like that.
The Browns.
The Browns.
Go for it. You can start with him.
Huh?
You can start off. Go for it.
Okay. What did we have them at? Did you guys have them at 7 wins?
Yeah, I have them 7-10.
I got them at 5-12.
I have them at 8-9.
Yeah, right. With
Casey,
what quarterback?
you're fucking nuts. Hold on, let me pull up my schedules here now that we're here. The Browns 5-12, hard schedule, no quarterback. Yeah, they have a tough ass schedule. You start in Carolina. Baker Mayfield is gonna shit all over them. I gave them the win against New York the week after. Then you got Pittsburgh, the Jets. They play the Jets.
Does it matter?
True.
It's New York.
I have this schedule based on no Deshaun Watson for the first 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Or 6 weeks or whatever his suspension is at right now.
It's at 6 for sure.
It doesn't matter
now,
even if it's up to 8 because they got Pittsburgh, they got Atlanta, no Deshaun Watson. They could lose that. It's in Atlanta. They got the Chargers, they got the Patriots, they got the Ravens, the Bengals, the Dolphins, the Bills, and then I have Deshaun Watson back and they pick up their wins late in the season against Tampa Bay, Houston, Washington, and then they split with Pittsburgh. That's 5 games out of their season. That's all I see them winning.
You only see them winning 5?
5 games, 5-12. If you don't have a quarterback for the first 6 games of the season, then you play Baltimore and Cincy.
Hey, they have Jacoby Brissett, and he's not a terrible quarterback.
I mean, you had him.
But the Browns are trash without a kid. You need that piece there for the Browns. They can't. It's the Browns.
I know we have the whole Deshaun Watson debacle, and Jaguar fans, I usually never agree with you guys, but the chants you guys were chanting to Watson at the game a couple days ago were comical. Did you guys see that?
Oh, yeah.
That was amazing. I loved it. Watson, after taking a year off from football, he is throwing interceptions at training camp, and he went 1 of 5 passing for 7 yards against the Jaguars the other day. I think he overthrew and underthrew a pass as well. He definitely looked rusty against the Jaguars, and we all know that he will miss at least 6 games with more possibly pending. The Browns also have another problem with Kareem Hunt wanting a trade. If Hunt plays this year, it's one of the best 1-2 punches in the backfield with Chubb. I still have Myles Garrett. They still have Myles Garrett on defense as well, and when he isn't swinging helmets at people, he does great things for the Browns. I think the Browns get off to a slow start this year, but they are a decent football team on paper. They're kind of like the Vikings. They're decent on paper, but they got to play the games. I have them going 8-9, but depending on how things shake out with Watson, they could win more. They may even win more with the current setup they have right now. So who knows?
You are nuts.
Yeah, but that's where I have them. I have them at 8-9. I don't think
You think they go over 500 if they have Deshaun Watson?
That's not over 500.
No, but
you're
saying
they can
6
win
game
more.
suspension. If Deshaun Watson's there for the beginning of the season, I could give them a couple more wins, but not a lot. I'd give them Atlanta.
I have
them, maybe Carolina.
I have them 8-9. That's where I have them. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, no, I don't think it is. I don't think it's crazy at all. Tony, this is your division. You're not saying anything. What do you have on the Cleveland Browns?
I mean, at the end of the day, like I said before, it's still the Cleveland Browns. They're gonna find a way to fuck it up. They had on paper they always look pretty nice. I mean, they had their stars receiving lineup when Manziel was there. They found a way to fuck that up. So I mean, what's gonna them having that impressive of a lineup back then compared to now that they just got a good pickup at the quarterback spot, nothing's gonna change. They're still gonna end up having a terrible season.
Games against the Browns and the Steelers should be good to watch though this year.
I do have them
I
splitting
mean, as long
with the Steelers.
they don't get Mason Rudolph out there, it's gonna be perfect.
Like I said, the helmet. As long as Myles Garrett's not swinging helmets around, he's good. But we'll move on to the next team in our rankings here. The number 3 team, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers, Tony's favorite team. We have a consensus ranking of 9 and 8, and I think that's nuts. So
positive.
Yeah, I think that's nuts.
I think that's Tony's
nuts?
doing though.
I have a lot to say about Pittsburgh,
Steven
but I'll
might
let
have also
Tony
had
go
them
first.
in
They're
there.
your team, Tony, so you go ahead.
I had him at 9 and 8.
I don't see them going anywhere below 500. That's for sure. They do have a lot of proving to do, but they always have consistency. Even when they're struggling on the offensive side, defensive side, they find a way to pull through. Just because they have that veteran mentality, they're there to win. Tomlinson has been able to coach them throughout the seasons. Like we talked about before, he's never gone under 500.
Correct.
In the past 18 years. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to keep that up this year. It was nice to see that now we have a quarterback that could run. They're honestly in that whole situation, I see Mason Rudolph being the worst one. Especially after seeing him try and play yesterday, he was trying to fit passes through small openings that are going to get him picked off throughout the year. So as long as we could keep
Pickett
him on
did
the
really
field,
well yesterday.
He did, and Pickett threw he went 13 for 15, 2 touchdown passes with 95 yards in an insanely amount of minimal time that he got to play. So he looks like
he might be
good.
He might be a quarterback number 1 next year.
I'm telling you, they just got Trubisky in there to kind of coach him through, get him comfortable with the field, but then he's gonna end up taking over. So I think it's gonna be a Maddox Roethlisberger situation going on again.
You think he's gonna take over midseason?
I don't know about midseason.
I think he'll take over
ready for
midseason.
it, but it would be ideal. But I think he's going to get the back end of it, if anything. But Trubisky did really well as well, right off the bat, first quarter, first couple minutes. I think it was like 4 minutes in, he threw in a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
So it's just nice to see them be able to be mobile, man.
Something Tony hasn't seen in years.
It's been a minute, so it's just nice to see them be able to run the ball and get out of the pocket and be comfortable and be able to sling it in there. Obviously, we don't have the cannon that Roethlisberger had, but they're gonna be fine.
But as we said last week, Steelers haven't had a losing season since 2003, and as Tony said right now, Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season in Pittsburgh. And it was 18 years. You said?
Yep.
He's been there for 18. He's been there that long. That's crazy.
That's since
2003.
4?
3.
No, 18 years is 2004.
Yeah, but they haven't had a losing season since 2003.
I know this. Yeah.
But
so
they signed Trubisky in the offseason, as Tony said, and then immediately decided to get Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh in the first round of the draft. I don't think the Steelers know what they want to do at quarterback right now. The Steelers' offensive line was pretty bad last season, and I really felt bad for Najee Harris because he deserves better. Juju left to go make TikToks with Jackson Mahomes in Kansas City, and I think they're better off without him. I do think that the Steelers are going to be in some kind of rebuild this season, and I can't see them in the playoffs. They have
their record.
They have I'll tell you at the end here. They have the 4th toughest schedule to play this season, and I think they're going to struggle. A lot of question marks on offense, and they are in one of the toughest divisions in the NFL. Their defense may keep them in games because y'all's defense is elite. Like it's really good. You guys got Mr. TJ Watt out there, and it's really, really good.
Minka Fitzpatrick.
But the offense is going to have to score, and that's where I see them struggle. I have them at 7-10. And they have their first losing season since 2003. That's where I have the Steelers. I actually have them. I think I have them 4th. No, I don't. I have the Browns. No, I have the Steelers
Browns
at 7-10.
Yeah, because you had the Steelers at 7-10.
I have the Steelers at 7-10. I have the Browns at 8-9.
That's crazy. I think the Steelers are going to do better than people think. I don't think they have a winning record. I have them in between there. I have them at 8-9, just losing record. But they could surprise a lot of people this season. I mean, you have weapons there. Mitchell Trubisky is not that bad of a quarterback. I mean, he's not a QB1, but he's borderline, like
He's like Jacoby Brissett.
You put him into a really high caliber offense and he can perform like if he's got weapons. And he's got Najee Harris back there. I mean, the offensive line might struggle a little bit, but
I also have a hot take about the number one receiver this year. Pickens is damn good of a pickup. I think
do you think he's going to be the number one receiver in the league?
Not Pickens.
I think
Pickens, yes,
as
from
a rookie,
Georgia, right?
So you think he'll be the top rookie in the league?
Yeah, I think he has a shot at the top receiver.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I will say that guy is a player. Like that guy can catch the ball. He can move. He's a big guy too. Came from Georgia. He's the reason why Michigan got shit on in the semifinal game.
Georgia's
one of the
breeding
reasons.
system, they're breeding different level of humans. It's crazy,
especially that defense.
Yeah.
Like their whole defense went in the first, second round of the draft.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That corned beef that they're feeding them down there.
Yeah, the corned beef. All right.
I mean, Athens is something else. The Bulldogs are something else, man.
It's those Georgia Peaches.
The SEC.
I don't know. That whole program is just insane. I live about an hour away, and Bulldog Nation there is no joke.
Yeah, not at all. But we'll go to the next team in our rankings. We're going to team number 2, which is the Baltimore Ravens, which we have them at a consensus ranking of 11-6. Tony, I'll go back to you for Baltimore. I mean, this is kind of your division here. So what do you think Baltimore's going to do? Actually, sorry, I'm going to move you to the 4-cam scene here. Here we go.
I mean, I think this whole division, like I said, once they play each other, it's always going to be a good game. They're always, the rivalries themselves are always some of the toughest games. It doesn't matter in what division you're in. They always come for, when you're playing someone in your division, it's always going to be a good game. Everybody's coming for blood. A lot. With that being said, I think the Bengals have been able to clean up their defenses because every time the Steelers would play the Bengals in the past years, someone would get ejected from the game. That's honestly how Antonio Brown probably lost his marbles, man, because of that one hit.
I think Antonio Brown lost his marbles for some other reasons, but we won't get into that.
I mean, but ever since then, it was a steady decline. But it's always a dogfight when any of these teams are playing. Obviously, the Steelers have a lot of proving to do to match up to the Ravens and especially the Bengals. But overall, I think we'll be able to steal one from them.
Yeah, I think you guys will steal a couple games too. But when it comes down to the Ravens, the entire team was basically on IR last year. Preseason was daunting for Ravens fans last year, as your highly anticipated running backfield were all lost for the season. I even had a buddy draft J.K. Dobbins in the second round of a draft last year, and then the news of his ACL tear came out about an hour later. So that is why you guys don't do your fantasy drafts until after the preseason. Yeah. Lamar Jackson got hurt near the end of the season. It was just a mess for Baltimore injury-wise last year.
They still finished with a good record, no?
They were, I don't remember what their record was at the end of the year. But in the offseason, the Ravens had an amazing draft. They loaded up this offseason, but they did lose a Hollywood Brown. They do have a tight end one in Mark Andrews, and I think the division will cannibalize each other this year. But in the end, I think the Ravens are one of the teams that come out with a playoff spot, and don't be surprised if they end up as a high seed. This Ravens team will be dangerous, barring any injuries. I really like the Ravens this year. I have them going 11-6. I think that's what we have them in our consensus, if that's not what I'm mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep, it sure is. 11-6. Steven, you got anything on the Ravens? You have them going 12-5.
I'm looking at their...
And so do you, Daniel.
They finished 8-9 last year.
Yeah.
They were 8-9?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, mainly
but they
because of
finished
injuries.
the season with 6 losses in a row. So injuries, to catch up.
Yeah, they caught up to him for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was looking up. Sorry.
Yeah. You guys got anything on the Ravens?
I think we covered most of it pretty well. I mean, we've talked about them the past 2 weeks now. I mean, having their running game back, I mean, that's going to help out so much. As long as they stay healthy, I mean, they'll be fine. They'll be competing with the Bengals this year.
Yeah, I have them 12-5 too. And Tony, I have your Steelers beating them in Pittsburgh though. Week 14.
In Pittsburgh. All right, let's move on to the number one team. Number one team, which shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, is
no surprise here.
The Cincinnati Bengals, and we have a consensus ranking of 12-5.
I go first.
Daniel, go first.
The Bengals, obviously, okay. All of this stuff I say, barring no injuries. Injuries can kill your season, but I have the Bengals at 13-4. I have them starting out pretty hot at 4-0. Their first loss of the season, I have them losing in Baltimore. But their schedule is not super difficult. They're kind of like middle of the road schedule. I got 4-0, then they drop one to Baltimore. You got New Orleans and Atlanta after that. This is going to be weird to say, but I have Cleveland beating them week 8. Deshaun Watson being back, it's in Cleveland. I gave them one of those losses. I think that'll be one of those games. They
do have a pretty tough schedule.
I can see it happen.
They have Tampa Bay, Buffalo, Kansas City, who will be looking for revenge. Dallas, the Saints. I mean, that's a tough schedule.
Yeah. I got them at 13-4. Their 4 losses being Baltimore, the Browns game, Tennessee, and then Buffalo at home. I think Buffalo takes them out. 13-4, though.
Yeah, the Bengals, of course, are the reigning AFC champions. Nobody had them in the Super Bowl last year, but they shocked the world. To me, I was amazed that when they played Tennessee in the playoffs and the Bengals allowed 9 sacks and still won that game. You guys remember that? That was crazy.
They got an offensive line now.
It blew my mind. And now they have an offensive line. So the offensive line gets better this year with the addition of players like La'el Collins from Dallas, Alex Kappa from Tampa Bay. They also got Daxton Hill from Michigan on defense, and I think he can make an immediate impact there in Cincinnati. We talked about their tough schedule. It's a rocky schedule, I think, but since they improved, I think they finish 11-6 and they win their division again.
Just laughing at the comment.
Josh's comments. We'll get to those in just a minute.
Yeah, we'll go to the chat in a minute.
He says they're going 15-2 and they're losing
to Dallas in the Super Bowl.
Well, I think that's pretty much it for the NFC and AFC North. I'm gonna move the bullet point to in and out, but we can go
catch up with the chat, baby.
Yeah, catch up with the chat here.
They've been going off. Scroll up a little bit over there, Casey. So never mind. I can scroll up on my side. Well, no, scroll up so everyone can. Oh, never mind. They can't see that. Never mind.
They can't see anything. So let's go back to the chat. What's at Cloud Lifer? From Kevin. Kevin's here.
I think Kev's talking about mic arms. Kev, we'll talk about mic arms after the stream. I'll hit you up. Where were we? I think we're at Jesus Christ. Me stopping because I said the Cowboys are going to go 17-0. I don't actually believe that. I have Dallas going 12-5, but that's beyond the point. A lot of it was just Cowboys, not slander, Cowboy talk.
Edward has them going 12-5, maybe 13.
Josh said, Casey, you're nuts for thinking that the Browns are going to win 8 games.
What 8 games do you have the QB-less Browns winning? 6 tops. Yeah. I don't know what games they're going to win or not going to win, but I think they're going to win some games. So, like I said, we will come back to this at the end of the season, and you guys can shit on me if I'm wrong. So, there we go. Also, Josh, I have the Raiders not making the playoffs and going 8-9 this year. So,
believe his hot takes.
Believe that's what it was. 8-9.
Hot takes.
Other than that, I think we're caught up. If we didn't have 17 penalties yesterday for the Cowboys. Yeah, it was not good. Not ideal. They need to clean that shit up, or it's going to be a very, very sad and tough
By the way,
season.
Edward, it was 17 penalties at the end of the third quarter. That's what that was. I think you guys had more than that.
I think it was 17 total. I don't know. I don't know exactly. It was way too many. Over 10 is too many. Over 5 is too many, in my opinion. But, they happen sometimes. Anyway, we're caught up there. Thank you guys for chatting it up. We appreciate it. Let's move on, Casey.
All right, we're moving on to in and out. This should be a pretty quick segment. Basically, I'm going to name some teams that should be on the cusp of making the playoffs. Teams that should be decent maybe might make the playoffs, maybe might not. Chat, you can jump in on this too if you want to.
Yes, jump in.
Yeah, jump in. I want opinions from all you guys.
Just comment in or out.
We'll start with my team, the Indianapolis Colts. In or out at the end of the season?
I think
I have
you'll
them
be
in. I have them winning your division. That was my hot take from the other day.
I have us winning the division too, but that Jaguars loss at the end of the year has me all fucked up this year. So I don't know, but
It's gonna light a fire under your butts.
I will say in our preseason game yesterday, our defense had 5 turnovers yesterday. The first team defense had 3 turnovers in the first quarter, so that's pretty good. But Josh Allen did not play yesterday against us, so we'll see. Edward says in. Josh says cries and Cowboy fan.
Are you guys
Jacksonville is not
again?
our last game. We play Jacksonville week 2 in Jacksonville.
You guys are closing with Tennessee, no?
We close with Tennessee. No, I don't know. Not sure.
It's usually.
I think it's
division
Houston.
game.
It's Houston at home. It's Houston. We close with Houston.
Well,
so
I mean, there's another game that you could lose and blow your
like you said,
playoff
it's the
again.
NFL, so who knows?
Part 2, but Houston this year. Dude, if
Oh
that
my
happens,
god! Could you imagine
you
how
need to just give up on the team? Honestly,
I can't give up on my team. I love them too much.
Yeah, the Colts,
I've
the
invested
Colts
too
finished the
much in them.
season with the Giants and the Texans.
Yeah, the Texans is the last game because John
That'd be so
was
funny.
talking about maybe going to the Texans game with me. So next team, the Miami Dolphins.
In.
I think I say in. I gotta check and make sure. I don't want to like start
Remember,
throwing
they
out
got
random
Tua.
shit.
They got Tyreek Hill. I think the Dolphins will be pretty decent this year. I think I have them going 10-7 and making the playoffs.
What is that? That's AFC South, yeah.
AFC East.
East. Oh, with the Patriots and the fucking
Patriots,
the
Bills, the Jets. That's where they're at.
I don't have them on here because I was
But
doing NFC.
I have 'em-
Oh, I think I have them out just on the schedule.
Because of their tough
If they're-
schedule.
Yeah, they got a
I'd
tough
say
schedule.
if anything, wild card. Well, they'll be a wild card if they do get in, but I'm gonna say out.
I do think that they'll finish second in their division this year behind the
Yes,
Bills.
I agree with that, but AFC is stacked.
Yeah, the AFC is stacked. That's the problem with the AFC this year. The AFC is so talented. We just don't know who's going to come out of it in the end.
I think.
I mean, the first 4 games that the Dolphins play: Patriots, Ravens, Bills, Bengals. That's almost 0-4.
Yeah, I give them 1 and 3 off that.
Yeah,
That's
this
being generous.
it's going to be a crazy. I mean, like if you want to get in the playoffs, you better win your division just to solidify it in the AFC.
Have you guys seen the memes of Tua throwing?
Yes, he's like throwing.
He's like missing by like 30 yards.
Or I saw one where he threw it and it fell into the ocean.
Oh my god!
They had a football sliding in the ocean.
There's a lot of
It's like,
Tua
what?
slander going around. but
I like
how that
Tua
goes.
though. I think he's a good quarterback. I don't know why there's so much slander. I mean, he hasn't really proved anything in the NFL,
yeah,
but
he's
I
got a
think
lot
he'll
to
be
prove
okay.
still.
Yeah. Next team on the list. Team you guys played yesterday, the Denver Broncos.
Let's
I know you
ride.
guys are really let's ride. That's pretty fun. I know you guys are really high on them, but I still am.
I
not.
think they'd be out.
I'm not very high on them. I have them at 7 and 10 out.
Yeah, I had
you
them
have
in
them
third
at
place
7-10.
in the division.
Yeah, I have them at 9-8. I think they're out. I don't think they win it. Tony, where do
I
you
have them in last in their division. Actually,
They're going to be borderline. I see them going out, but they're going to be a pretty tough team too.
I don't
They'll
know.
be one
I don't know if they're
count
gonna
they'll be
be.
one of those teams that you can't count out though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like the Broncos, Washington. Those are a couple teams that I just don't know what they're gonna do this year.
Yeah,
'cause
that's
they're-
what the-
it's a
yeah.
brand new regime.
They're
for both
those
teams.
two teams in the season where it's like you wouldn't be surprised to see them make the playoffs, but you wouldn't be surprised to not see them make the playoffs.
Edward says out. What
Yep.
wet noodle is playing QB for Houston though? It's
Edward was saying out to the
Edward said out
Dolphins.
to the Dolphins.
Like
The Dolphins.
Davis
Davis
Mills or some
Mills.
shit.
Yeah, we
Poor
watched him
guy.
play last year. Poor guy. Bill are obviously taking the division. AFC is too good for a wild card. This is to be proving year for Tua. Yeah, I agree, Josh. Agree, they'll be
Josh being
second in the
logical.
division, just not the wild card good. Yeah, I don't know if they'll make the playoffs, but I think they might. I think they can. Next team on the docket. The Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, I don't have to answer this one.
They're winning the Super Bowl. What are you talking about?
Oh my God. Josh is going to say in. We're going 17-0. Feed Zeke. Doug's the best quarterback ever. What else do you say, Josh? You can name them all in the chat right there.
We them boys.
We did
Part of me-
boys.
So, dude, Dallas is just so fucked. It hurts my soul. Like, just Maybe that's why I like being a Dallas fan. Maybe it's my toxic relationship.
It's like
you get stuck into.
You
and
like
just
it when it
can't leave.
hurts or what?
Yeah, I think so. No, dude. Okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna go off on a rant.
Go for it.
Single cannon.
I was talking about it earlier, how there's teams that have that certain mentality, like the Bengals, like where Joe Burrow just comes in and he just changes the culture of that place and they all become winners. Dallas does not have that. They cannot get together and like band together to where they can be that like Mamba mentality team, if you know what I mean. Like, we're gonna fucking destroy everyone in our path, and we're leaving nothing behind. I think that's a big problem with Dallas, and I think it's a big problem with the Cowboys fans. The game last year against the 49ers was fucking bullshit. That fan base in the stadium sucks so much because you guys can hate me for it, but you get all those rich people in Jerry World that get the super nice tickets. We were in nosebleed and we paid like $250 for like standing room tickets. It sucks. You can't get those diehard Cowboys fans. There were more like, it was split between the Cowboys and the Niners, and the Niners have a crazy good fan base, and I think that's what helps them so much.
Here's
Dallas
the thing.
Cowboys fans, be better. That's it.
The Niner fans, they probably took up a third of your stadium. And I remember when we were standing, we looked up to the right, and there was a sea of red up in like the third and fourth tier, and they were the loudest thing in the stadium.
Loud as fuck.
Louder than all the other Cowboy fans in that stadium. I will say
fans are very reactive and they're not supportive as they should be.
I will say that AT&T Stadium is pretty much a money grab stadium. Like I say, I go to a lot of Colts away games at different stadiums, and the most expensive behind AT&T Stadium has been Lambeau Field. But the Packer fans, like, those are diehard fans up there. It's crazy. But I went, like I said, I was telling people this. I sat in Baltimore 10 rows up for like $110 last year on a Monday night football game. And in Dallas, that would cost you like $3,000 to just sit there for one ticket.
$750 for third tier tickets for me and my girlfriend to go see the Cowboys and Eagles last year.
Yeah, he's a Cowboys fan. His girlfriend is an Eagles fan, and they went together to the game. And the
Cowboys
to pay,
won 37. Yeah. Or I think that was the 42-20-21 game. Go Cowboys! But regardless, the Cowboys fan base needs to be better, and I think it's a big mentality thing with Dallas. So if they, I don't know. It's a toss up for me, honestly. I believe in them because I'm a Cowboys fan, but it's very difficult sometimes.
I do have them in. Even if you guys don't win your division, I think you guys are in the playoffs. I think you guys may get in. I know Tony has a hot take that says that San Francisco will push the Cowboys out at the end of the season, but we'll see how that goes. Let's go through the chat here. Already said 12-5. Here goes Josh with his DC4L. Oh, Dallas Cowboys for life. We Deb boys. Philly scares me, but I'll go in. Edward thinks in. Dak Attack. Dak Attack. That's the one I was missing. Feed Zeke. If we can fix our penalties, for God's sakes, how many false starts can we get in a season? How many seasons are we going to go without a kicker? You guys, hey, Josh, you guys just re-signed Brett Maher, so have fun with him.
Dude.
Yeah. I'm good. That's cool.
Dallas is such a weird city, man.
Dallas
is a weird team.
Josh says Dallas a bandwagon city. Look at the Rangers, Stars, and Mavs. Fans are loud when we're good. Ghost town when we aren't. I agree with that,
exactly.
Josh.
Right. That's how it is.
Josh said, "Why are you dating?"
You know, spices things up.
I think he's saying, "Who are you dating?" Because she's an Eagles fan. So, but
no, he's asking why.
No, he's asking why we're dating because I'm a Cowboys fan and she's an Eagles fan.
So yeah, there you go. But we got to move on just for sake of the stream here because we're coming up on 2 hours and 11 minutes. We're trying to keep this shorter. The next team, the Tennessee Titans.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I think they're going to be okay this year, but
yeah,
you say in?
I'm going to give them the odd one. Yeah. Oh, god damn, that's a good one.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'm not going to overthink it. Out. I'm going to say out.
I say out too.
AFC is too tough.
Whoever wins the South is in the playoffs, of course, hosts the playoff game.
Right.
The other three teams are out. I just don't see anybody else from the AFC South getting into the playoffs with how tough, like we talked about, the AFC is.
The AFC North alone. I mean, I think 3 teams could get in there. I think Pittsburgh could still make the playoffs.
I have the Titans finishing 10-7 with 4 games against Jacksonville and Houston. It's hard not to give them 10 wins. They definitely won't be a 1 seed in the AFC this year. I think the AFC is so tough they miss out on the postseason, so that's what I had them at. Steven, what do you think?
I think they'll be out.
Think they'll be out? Yeah, I agree. I think they're gonna be out. Edward says in so Henry can break records. Out, says Josh. They're winning the division. Out? They're winning. Oh, he's being a smartass. Out? They're winning the division.
They could.
They could win the division. But they're not going to, Josh. We're winning that division.
Yeah, the bottom 3 teams of that division, I don't think make the playoffs.
Yeah. Next team on the list, I think is a good team. It's from the NFC, the Arizona Cardinals.
Fuck. That division.
That division.
I think I have the Cardinals 4th in that division.
You have them finishing last, and then
No, that's not true. Wait,
no, you had the Seahawks finishing 4th.
Oh, this is the Seahawks are in that division. Never mind.
Yeah, the Seahawks. We have. I think we had a consensus of them going 6-11 last week in the rankings.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have the Cardinals finishing 3rd in that division.
Yeah, they'll be a wild card if they get in. For sure.
Kyler Murray's pretty much going to determine what they do there. I have them out. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year. Yeah,
I say out.
I say out. I mean, they got the Rams and there's 49ers in there. I mean,
yeah.
Well, that's your that's the division spot going more than likely to the Rams. Mm-hmm. The Niners could. It'd be very surprising, but they could. I think one of those 2 teams will have a wild card spot.
I do think the Rams will win that division, but I think the 49ers will fight them for it. If Trey Lance can play to the level that everybody thinks he's going to be, they could surprise them and win that division. I could see that happening. So just kind of depends. But the Rams are built to win. The Rams bought a Super Bowl last year. Let's be honest, Mike. Rams slander. Take that. But
I mean,
that's what they did.
If you can do it, why not?
The Yankees do it all the time.
Yeah, a lot of people hate on that, but like, why wouldn't?
Yeah,
like, why wouldn't you if you're gonna win the Super Bowl? You know what I mean? That's the whole point.
Yeah. Josh says game film isn't going to bring the Cards a division title. Edward says
Call
out.
of Duty.
Yeah, playing too much Call of Duty. Next team on the list, the Las Vegas Raiders. Here's where we have a little bit of turmoil here.
Out.
I say out too. Out. Daniel, you have him in?
Consensus.
I believe I did. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up all my notes here. I
have the Raiders going 8-9 this year, and Daniel thought I was crazy for saying that. I think the Raiders going 8-9. They miss out on the playoffs. I compare them to the Browns team a few years ago, where everybody thought the Browns were going to the Super Bowl. I think the Raiders are out. I don't think they make the playoffs. I think they're overhyped.
I think this is the division in the AFC. Either this division, well, not necessarily the North, but I think the North will produce a wild card spot for sure. But I think that you see 2 wild cards coming out of the AFC West, and the Chargers and the Raiders. So I'll take them in.
Could be. And then well, never mind. We have the Broncos. But never mind. Next team on the list, the San Francisco 49ers. Tony, we know that you have them in, bumping the Cowboys out. Steven and Daniel, where do you guys have them?
I have them in.
I have them in.
They both have them in. I have them. Where did I have them? I don't remember where I had them.
Like I just said, I mean, I could see them sneaking away with that division. It all depends on how far, like Steven said in our last show last week, it's the Niners will go as far as Trey Lance can take them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Exactly.
And their defense, but more so on Trey Lance's shoulders.
Got one more team left. It's the New England Patriots. And I will say, the New England Patriots probably have, quite frankly, the most boring team I've ever seen in my life.
They're the Spurs of the NFL.
Yeah, pretty much. I have them out. I think Bill Belichick is on his way out as well. And we'll see what happens this year. But he's still coaching that team, but not the same players anymore. I have them out.
Yeah, it's the AFC, dude. I can't see it happening. I'll take the out.
I'll take the out. Mac Jones is just not good enough, I think.
They don't have enough to compete in the AFC. Let's just be honest here.
Yeah. I think they finished 9-8 and missed the playoffs, so that's where I have them this year. But
is Bill Belichick the GM?
No.
He's just the head coach.
No, I think Kraft. No?
Robert
Kraft is the owner. But does he run the team too?
I don't know who their GM is. Because he might be in charge of both.
I know Jerry Jones is your GM, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in charge of way too much, and it's fucking
I thought Steven Jones was GM, basically.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't think.
Yeah. Edward says out. Edward says out. Josh says out. Josh agrees with me. He says Carr, well, I don't know what that number is, 1,000,000% overrated. He's a Dak level QB, but less cool.
Bill Belichick is the general manager.
I don't know, Josh. We saw Derek Carr carve up your Cowboys last year on Thanksgiving. Bill is
Jesus
the
Christ.
coach and GM.
Yep.
I have a crazy stat here for Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick's he's the winningest coach for the Patriots, obviously, but his record, does anyone want to take a guess?
What his record is?
Just in New England, or
Bill Belichick, yeah. He's been there for a very long time.
384 and 170. I don't know.
Okay, he hasn't been there that long. Anybody else?
he's probably 290.
Tony?
Tony's got nothing.
I don't know.
No.
He's gonna have like a 60-70% win rate.
Bill Belichick is 254 and 99
Oh, wow.
with the
Damn.
New England Patriots.
So his next loss is loss number 100 with the Patriots.
Yeah,
That's crazy. That's a long time to be there.
that's a lot of fucking games.
Edward said
Considering
carve.
there's only 16 a season before the last 2 years.
Edward
that's
said carve up.
nuts.
LOL. It wasn't that great. What wasn't that great?
Bill
You're
Belichick
talking
has-
about the Raiders Cowboy game.
Hey, they carved you up. That's what I saw.
Bill Belichick has half of the Patriots franchise wins.
That's
They
insane.
have 529 total, and he's got 254 of them.
Hang on.
So almost half. That's crazy.
Looking up the Cowboys versus Raiders game recap here because they're going off.
Who's going up over here?
Derek Carr went 24 for 39 for 373 yards and a touchdown.
Oh yeah, they decimated
carved
us
him
on
up.
Thanksgiving last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
That was a rough
373
game.
yards. You guys gave up.
I think I stopped watching that game at halftime.
We were at the game, so
Yeah.
we had to keep watching. Actually, that game went into overtime, I believe. That was a good game.
The Cowboys and Raiders?
Yeah, it went into overtime.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Maybe I started watching it again later on. I don't know. I don't remember that.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll move on to next week's show. Bullet point here. Doop, doop. So next week, we're going to do the AFC and NFC South. We're going to do fantasy wide receiver rankings. And then I want to do a mock draft because it's a week before our live draft. So I want to get us kind of accustomed. We can talk about the draft as we go through it, why we're drafting who. And if you guys have any other questions or if you guys want to see something, let us know. I mean, like whatever you guys want to see, throw it on there and we can do a segment on whatever you guys want. I mean, you guys are the watchers. So what do you guys want to see? Let us know. You guys have any ideas for next week?
Not off the top of my head. If we're gonna do a mock draft, though, I mean, we gotta make it a quick one.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I don't want to
that
do like
can
a
take a
full.
long
We're not gonna
time.
do a full draft. It'll probably be like the first 6 or 7 picks, 6 or 7 rounds, something like that. But it'll be pretty
Okay.
quick. But that'll take up a lot of our time next week. But I've got it all set up almost already. I just need to get us in there and then get it started. But
Sounds
there we
good to
go.
me.
But you guys got anything else here? Chat, you guys got anything else? If you don't,
I'll go ahead and just take a minute to thank everyone for being here with us. Most of you, it looks like you guys have stuck it out with us for the majority of this. I know these things can get pretty lengthy. We went for almost 3 hours yesterday. We're coming in on 2.5 this week, so we really, really appreciate the hell out of you guys. Make sure that you guys leave a like or dislike. If you guys didn't like it, just leave a dislike on it. Engage with it. Those of you that were chatting with us, we really appreciate it. We hope to see you guys back next week. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way for us. We really want to take this thing
far as we
to
can.
crazy
Give it
heights
a
as far
go.
as we can go with it. So we really appreciate the support from you guys, and we love you.
I will say when the season starts, we will have a lot more content than what we just are bringing to you now. But
It's a lot easier
yeah.
to produce during
we
the season.
got a lot of stuff for the regular season, but we just need the regular season to start. Really, we just have maybe two more live streams before the regular season, and
Correct.
we're going full steam. So it'll be awesome. We'll have everything going. But if you guys don't have anything else for us, I want to thank you guys just like Daniel did. Leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Adios. I'll have a new mic arm next time.
Yeah, Daniel will get a
Hopefully.
new mic, but yeah.
Jesus Christ.
For Daniel, Steven, and Tony, we will see you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Peace.